Why are you texting your ex-boyfriend these things?
He don't treat me right. Like,
Your body is naked, wishing you were in the bed. Which bed? Your husband's bed?
That she was my daughter.
And then just to know that my sister's resting in her grave needs to know who her family really is. I just need to know, too, for sure. We can all move on. Either way it goes, he's been her father.
Have you talked to Carly today? You say no. Why? Friend says she has some guy over here with her in the living room. You text back, are they hugged up or anything? And she texts back, yes. Was this the ex? Have you talked to Carly today? You say no. Why? Friend says she has some guy over here with her in the living room. You text back, are they hugged up or anything? And she texts back, yes. Was this the ex?
It is astonishing to consider that we have only just begun, and the situation has already become so intense. Miss White initiates her case by expressing her urgent need to establish the paternity of her 3-year-old daughter, Savannah, in relation to her husband. She openly acknowledges her past infidelities and expresses hope that confirming Savannah's paternity will help restore their damaged trust. Prepare yourselves, as this tumultuous journey is only just commencing.
You've opened your case because the only way to save your marriage and family is to prove to your husband that 3-year-old daughter, Savannah.
Yes, sir.
You admit you've cheated in the past, but husband will trust you again. Is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
Tension continues to escalate as Mr. White confronts the painful uncertainties that have haunted their marriage, exacerbated by neighborhood rumors and his own investigations on social media. The emotional toll has intensified their marital discord to a critical juncture, and the situation is about to become even more complex.
Because when it first all come about where she was having an ex-boyfriend, I had neighbors tell me he was coming over, and then I started doing the snooping on Facebook, seeing where his location was, and then we got into an argument one night. He showed up, and that's when I knew there was something. Have called him if we're arguing.
The narrative takes a deeper turn as Miss White discloses the underlying factors contributing to her infidelity, including her struggles with abandonment stemming from her adoption. She yearns for greater affection and public recognition from her husband, laying bare her emotional vulnerabilities. The stakes are raised even higher in the subsequent testimonies.
But I have like abandonment issues. He's not showing me the love and affection that I need, trying to like make excuses for myself because I admit what I've done is wrong. Love and affection and be there for me, and he's not doing.
But wait a minute, because you admittedly have been cheating, you've had to open this case to
Correct.
prove paternity of Savannah in hopes of saving your marriage.
This segment serves as a significant revelation as they reflect on the rapid progression of their relationship into marriage and parenthood, a whirlwind characterized by youthful passion and overwhelming responsibilities. The intricacies of their situation only deepen as we continue to uncover more layers in the moments ahead.
I moved in with them after a month of being together. I ended up getting pregnant with our first child. We ended up getting married. Everything just happened so quickly at 19 years old. So,
You got married young.
yes,
Did you start cheating?
yes.
I didn't find out for sure. Admittedly told me when Savannah was 6 months old, 50 chance that Savannah wasn't mine.
This is where the gravity of the situation becomes apparent. The discussion shifts to the impact of their tumultuous marriage on their children, with Mr. White emphasizing the necessity of a stable and loving environment, regardless of whether they remain together or separate. However, brace yourselves, as the next segment will unveil just how intricate their relationship has truly become.
And at the same time, it was kind of a relief because for a fact that it was actually happening, it wasn't just, oh, it's an assumption, I don't know. I think more than anything that I was more hurt, done got attached to her. 6 months old, was there for the whole 9 months. I was the one that cut it. I've been there for all my kids. I work to provide for my kids because I want them to have a better life than I did.
Prepare for a shocking revelation as Miss White's ongoing infidelity is starkly illustrated through incriminating text messages exchanged with an ex-boyfriend, further highlighting the extent of her betrayal. The emotional repercussions are on the verge of erupting, and it will be compelling to observe how this situation unfolds.
Why are you texting your ex-boyfriend these things?
He don't treat me right. Like,
Your body is naked, wishing you were in the bed. Which bed? Your husband's bed?
Yeah.
You submitted another text message? Oh, this is another guy. This is not the ex-boyfriend's name. Laying here horny attorney, and you say, Ms. White, I know me too. And then you forgot the other O on two.
As the situation seemed to reach its peak, the court examined further evidence regarding Miss White's unfaithfulness, which included additional explicit text messages that highlighted the significant discord in the marriage and her apparent indifference to their union. The implications of these findings set the stage for a dramatic revelation that is imminent.
Why are you entertaining all these men on text?
Because he doesn't show me anything.
Always with the
He's not there for
always
me.
pivoting, you're trying to put it off on me. How you expect me to treat you the way you want to be treated when you're sitting here sexting other people and doing all for my money to take care of the kids? Because every time that I threaten to kick you from the marriage, we're not saying that you want to go see every time Dick.
Prepare yourself for an emotional moment as Mr. White shares the painful details of his confrontation with Miss White regarding her infidelity. This leads to a deeply moving conversation about the uncertainties surrounding their child's paternity. The emotional weight of his testimony lays the groundwork for a stunning conclusion.
What you would call, she aspirates. When she drinks, she has to have it thickened, or half of it will go into her lungs. Been there through that, been there through everything, the difficulties that my other children. I just love her. I don't know what I would do. I tried to leave this relationship, but she won't let me leave. I've stood in front of the car to where I couldn't leave, or she says, I'm gonna call the cops and tell them you hit me.
Are you prepared for this climactic finale? In a highly charged emotional moment, the results of the paternity test are revealed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. White, you are her father.
Miss Henderson commences her case by revealing her lifelong uncertainty regarding her father's identity. She had always believed that Mr. Henderson was her biological father, until, at the age of 15, Mr. William Rycroft asserted his claim to paternity. She articulates her doubts and her quest for the truth through this case, setting the stage for an unfolding suspense that promises to captivate the audience.
That Mr. Henderson was your biological father at the age of 15. Mr. Rycroft, he is your dad. You are doubtful and have opened today's case to get...
Prepare for an emotional journey as Miss Henderson elaborates on the profound impact of her father's absence, which has affected both her and her children, who are eager to learn about their grandparents. She conveys a heartfelt yearning for familial ties and closure, emphasizing her willingness to uncover the truth about her paternity. The emotional intensity is just beginning to unfold.
Kids, they want to know their grandparents. My daughter, she tells me all the time, Mom, we're going to find her dad. I'm just ready. I want to be close to somebody, be close to them. I've always been close to him, but I need to know.
Get ready for a significant revelation as Mr. William Rycroft confidently asserts that he is indeed Miss Henderson's biological father. He recounts the immediate emotional bond he felt upon their first meeting. Bolstered by his aunt's unwavering belief in his paternity, their conviction adds a layer of emotional depth to the proceedings as they seek judicial confirmation, heightening the tension of the narrative.
When we met, I just felt that she was my daughter.
And then just to know that my sister's resting in her grave needs to know who her family really is. I just need to know, too, for sure. We can all move on. Either way it go, he's been her father, and they're gonna remain.
The situation becomes increasingly complex as Mr. Henderson shares his marital struggles and uncertainties regarding Miss Henderson's paternity, particularly following his wife's prolonged absence. His account raises suspicions of infidelity and reveals the intricate dynamics that have led to the paternity dispute, leaving the audience eager for what lies ahead.
She left me in California, went to visit her mother in Arkansas. My other daughter told me that my mom is pregnant.
And so when you find that out, cheated, or you assume this is my baby? She was pregnant before she left.
I talked to her. I told her, if it's the girl, it's ours. It's the boy, you gotta go.
So you had an inkling, a suspicion.
That it wasn't mine.
Are you on the birth certificate?
Prepare for a dramatic twist as Miss Henderson recounts her initial encounter with Mr. William Rycroft, which was orchestrated by her aunt and marked by a positive emotional experience. However, her mother's subsequent remarks cast doubt on her feelings and the narrative surrounding her paternity, indicating that the story is about to take an even more intense turn.
Meet my dad, and we held each other. I asked my mom after that about him. I don't know why William thinks he's your dad. The last time I was with with him, I was 18, and I had you when I was 25.
My sister, when it comes to telling the truth on certain things, they'll beat around the bush. And like she didn't answer him when she came back, she didn't tell her the
The
truth.
narrative takes a compelling turn as the episode unfolds, revealing intricate family secrets and affairs that hint at a complex network of relationships and concealed truths regarding Miss Henderson's origins. This development adds significant depth to the ongoing paternity mystery, indicating that the revelations are only beginning to surface.
Just beating around the bush, not saying nothing about it. So I went on and told her, do you want to meet your dad?
So you called her that day.
I want to meet his daughter. I called him, and he came to Revival, and I said, you want to meet your daughter?
We want to hear from you. What was that day like?
I'm just astonished about it. I believe she's my daughter. Karen went back to California. I believe she was.
Prepare for an astonishing revelation.
Has been determined by this court. Mr. Henderson, you are not the father.
Can you believe the beginning of this saga? Miss Gregory reveals that the defendant, Mr. Elston, ended their engagement just 2 weeks ago, expressing doubts about the paternity of their son, Carson. She is advocating for a DNA test to confirm that Mr. Elston is indeed the father, hoping to reconcile their relationship. However, Mr. Elston and his sister are speculating that Miss Gregory's ex-partner may be the true father. Prepare yourself, as this is merely the prelude to a much more intricate story.
You say just 2 weeks ago the defendant called off your engagement due to paternity doubts surrounding your son Carson.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove Mr. Elston is the father and hope the result will save your
The
family.
situation intensifies as Miss Gregory focuses on preserving her family, emphasizing the necessity of having their father present for her children, Carson and the unborn child. She recounts their engagement in May and how the paternity controversy led to their recent separation. Mr. Elston shares his perspective, which has been influenced by rumors of Miss Gregory's infidelity, including alleged sightings of her ex-partner. The revelations are heating up, and there is more to come.
Ms. Gregory, how important is it to save your family?
It's very important for me to save my family because I feel that my kids, both of them, my unborn child and Carson, deserves. And I feel that we got engaged in May. He broke up with me 2 weeks ago because of paternity issues. So I feel that we need to get this all cleared up.
The drama escalates as Mr. Elston confronts his trust issues, exacerbated by gossip regarding Miss Gregory's supposed indiscretions, which he claims to have investigated while away. His sister supports his claims, alleging that she saw the ex-partner's truck parked at Miss Gregory's residence. In response, Miss Gregory expresses confusion over which vehicle they are referring to, given the parking situation at her apartment complex. Buckle up, as the roller coaster of accusations is just beginning.
People calling me and texting me telling me that she's cheating or either somebody's in the driveway. I work out of town. I'm like, I do stuff like I send people over there to check on just to make sure she's not doing nothing. And multiple people told me that they caught her ex in the driveway, caught his car there.
Your Honor, I'm actually the one who caught her ex in the drive. My brother was out of town. He's a hardworking man.
The unfolding drama reveals how Miss Gregory and Mr. Elston initially connected, while both were involved with other people. Shortly after their first meeting, a pregnancy complicates their already tumultuous relationship. Watch as this intricate web of relationships becomes even more complicated in the upcoming segment.
How this relationship stopped?
Me and Mr. Elston met through my ex at a basketball game. I was dating.
Through your ex?
I was dating my ex, and he was cheating on me at the time, so I felt comfort in Mr. Elston. He had a girlfriend also. We started sleeping together 2 weeks after we met, and then I got pregnant, almost a month later.
And at that time, were you and Mr. Elston boyfriend and girlfriend, or were you still just cheating on your ex?
This episode is not to be missed. Amid an emergency C-section, Mr. Elston raises doubts about the paternity of the newborn, Carson, claiming he appears too Caucasian to be his child, despite having previously expressed a desire to pass on his surname. He withdraws, leaving Miss Gregory in a state of alarm. Dear viewers, the saga of trust issues is far from resolved.
Was Mr. Elston at the hospital?
He came to the hospital the second day. I had to have an emergency C-section, so I was in the hospital for 5 days. He came the second and begged for me to give Carson son his last name. You cannot give my son your last name right now.
No, Your Honor, I was in the hospital all happy, because I was expecting to be my first child. Like, I walked in all happy, and we sit down, take a picture, and I looked at him
Your
real
exact
closely.
words was, he's too white.
And
That's
Your Honor,
exactly
3 weeks after the birth, Mr. Elston re-enters the scene, leading to an engagement just when it seems that stability is returning. However, new doubts regarding the baby introduce a fresh wave of drama, indicating that the storyline is about to become more complex. So remain attentive.
3 weeks after I had Carson, he started coming around more. So we ended up getting into a relationship, got engaged, and we was doing good. And then I got pregnant in June. I'm pregnant now, and he just doubts this baby, and more doubts are coming up from Carson. He's asking me for an unborn DNA test and stuff because he doesn't trust me.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be any doubt.
Things like what?
She's actually posted a picture with another dude around the time she was supposed to be pregnant by my brother.
Prepare for unexpected courtroom revelations as Miss Gregory confesses to having engaged with other men during pivotal moments, causing the issue of fidelity to unravel with each message and social media post. This tension escalates with a shocking disclosure of a Valentine's Day threesome. The highly anticipated moment arrives as the DNA results are revealed.
Friend says, have you talked to Carly today? You say no. Why? Friend says she has some guy over here with her in the living room. You text back, are they hugged up or anything? And she texts back, yes. Was this the ex that she saw you hugged up with?
Yes, Your Honor.
and she posted a picture on her ex birthday in March. Everybody have sex on somebody's birthday, so I'm not gonna
Everybody does
sleep
not.
together.
Get ready for the significant announcement. The DNA verdict lands with explosive impact.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Elston, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Mr. Elston.
Ms. Lyde appears in courtroom, saying that the defendant, Mr. Ellis, is the man she has known to be her father for the past 26 years. Now he says he is not the father, and she's trying to find out why. Mr. Ellis, however, says that her mother was unfaithful, and he is going to prove that he is not her father. Here is how the case starts.
Ms. Lyde, you say that for 26 years you have known only one man, the defendant, Mr. Ellis, to be your biological father. And you're devastated that he is claiming you're not his.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ellis, you say that Ms. Lyde's mother was unfaithful during your 7-year relationship and that you are certain you are not Ms. Lyde's biological father. You are here to prove that in court and to clear your name.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's odd. Ms. Lyde says that growing up has been hard for her right from her childhood. She says that she's been in and out of foster homes for as long as she can remember. If that's the case, how then has she believed for 26 years that Mr. Ellis has been her father?
And so you're saying you were in a relationship with her mother?
Yes, I was.
And it was a sexual relationship?
Yes, it was.
And it was a sexual relationship where you did not use protection?
Yes, Your Honor.
However, what you're saying is her mother also was having sex and intimate relationships with other men during that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
That story sounds hell of hilarious. Mr. Ellis claims that her mother was out partying and sleeping with several men while they were in a romantic relationship with each other. That crazy thing is he actually has no proof to back up his claim.
I gave her the papers. They garnished my check.
Mr. Ellis, explain that. You had a DNA test already.
Yes.
Explain.
When I was away, her mother called child support on me. They came and took the DNA test.
You got the results back?
I got the results back. It was 99.9 that I wasn't the father. So I showed her the paperwork.
Wow. I think her mom might have to get up from that chair she's in and tell her side of the story. Mr. Ellis says that he had a DNA test done, and the results showed that he was 99.9% not her father, and that's the reason he stopped paying child support. Could he be lying?
This on this DNA test got was from her through juvenile court, but they never showed to court.
So you-
juvenile.
The bottom line is a DNA test was performed, yes or no?
Yes.
What were the results?
They say in the court 99% yes.
Well, I guess we've heard her own side of the story, and it doesn't go with what Mr. Ellis said. Apparently, she claims that a DNA test was actually done, but the results showed that Mr. Ellis was 99.9% her father, and not what he claims they showed. Interesting.
Mrs. Lyde, it's not that I'm not trying to accept you for who you are. I think you're a beautiful person. Your mother should have told you and quit lying to you. You deserve the truth.
I do deserve the truth. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling really mad.
And you have the right to be.
What are you feeling?
I feel like, because I'm a mom, and I feel like if you are old enough.
Well said, Ms. Lyde. Well said. She loves herself, and if Mr. Ellis wants to deny her, she's good either way. All she wants is to know the identity of who her actual father is. Seems like her mother isn't even sure who the dad is at this point.
About who your father is, so you find your real father.
I feel like
That's why I called the
truth.
courts.
I deserve
That's
to know
why I
what's
called the
going
courts.
on.
Because you deserve the truth.
In your court papers, Ms. Lyde, you said that you made difficult and unfortunate choices with men because of this absence of a father figure, the relationship with your father.
Once again, she's right. She admits to the judge that she has also made terrible mistakes with the men she has been with, and she blames it on the fact that she never had a male figure in her life to guide her. I honestly blame her mother for all of this.
She has a little brother that she and the little brother were like twins, and the grandmother, Miss Lyde Sr.'s mother, brought the baby over in the house behind mine every day for a week and said, this is her brother. I want her to know her.
Judge Lauren will certainly add that to the list of things she had to consider. Mr. Ellis's witness, who happens to also be his mother, says that Ms. Lyde does not possess any features that would mark her as one of her genes. She also says that she actually never saw a DNA result showing that her son was either the father or not the father.
It's already built the hate in her heart for me from the day I was born. Like every
I didn't even know your mom was pregnant with you.
Every situation I have seen her has been trouble. Like I've seen her on a trolley when I was 10. I don't know if you remember.
You were 16.
I was 10. I saw her on a trolley where we used to live at, and I approached her.
Wow. That would definitely have broken Ms. Lyde's heart as a child. Ms. Lyde believes that Mr. Ellis's mom has always hated her right from the time she was born, and she never wanted her to be part of her family.
I don't need anybody to feel sorry for me at all, because at the end of the day, I'm blessed.
I
just want to know the truth.
But the DNA test told it already.
Let it go. Let it go. She's
Well,
lying
I haven't saw anything yet.
You have to understand, Mr. Ellis, her point is she's been told her whole life you are her biological father. You say you had proof that she was not, but she hasn't seen the proof.
Yup, we are all confused. Trust me. Everybody seems to have one thing or the other to say, and the story is just not adding up. Let's see if the results are going to clear the air, and we can get to the bottom of the whole thing. Here are the results.
Mr. Ellis, you are the father. Whoa!
I knew it! Yes!
This is another case of young kids getting pregnant at a young age. Now, Ms. Jones is in court with her mom because she's tired of the defendant constantly denying her child. She knows the DNA results will prove that he is the father, and she wants him to step up to his roles. The case begins like this.
Ms. Jones, you and your mother say you are tired of the defendant's denial. He's the biological father of your 6-month-old son, and once the DNA results prove your claim, you demand to be reimbursed for baby Lyric's child care expenses. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ha 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 ha. He did not just tell the judge that he doesn't think for himself. Let's all assume he didn't understand the question. Ms. Jones says that she broke up with him because he is so immature and can't think for himself.
She was getting confronted of cheating on me.
But I ain't never cheated on him. I have never cheated on him.
But once
his family had him believe that I was the one who was cheating on him, and it was mainly you and your husband.
You're right, because me and my daughter were catching text messages coming through your phone.
What text messages?
You were answering
what text
your phone.
messages?
I've never seen people yap and yap and yap without making any communication or conversation. Mr. Houston and his mom claim that the actual reason for their breakup was because they confronted Ms. Jones about her cheating, and that's what led to all the yelling.
I don't know why they got their
When you two were dating, were you dating anyone else?
No, I was with him. I was faithful to him.
So you broke up around prom, the time right before prom?
A week before prom.
When did you find out you were pregnant?
I found out June 3rd that I was pregnant.
That was honestly the same reaction that popped out of my face. Why'd she wait for 8 months before she decided it was finally the right time to tell them she was pregnant? That just builds room for a lot of suspicion. Something is not right with that story.
Out of the picture, you said it was between her and your son?
Yes, ma'am, because it's so much drama going on. When you call somebody at 8 months pregnant and say, hey, I just found your number in my old phone, so hey, you guys are too much drama. I didn't want to tell you I was pregnant.
Her story is still not making any sense. She says that she didn't want to involve Mr. Houston's family or tell them about the pregnancy because they are such dramatic people, and she didn't want to deal with all the drama. Well, hello? Why is she telling them now? I mean, isn't this the same drama she was trying to avoid?
What does she have to do
Wait,
with my
another
friend?
girl pregnant?
Yeah, she didn't tell me until she found out she was pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor, that's how it happened.
How the heck I'm gonna
On
know
Facebook,
she's pregnant and how I know you was dating her?
Pregnant, all of a sudden the phone call came.
Yeah.
Because you know these.
Yeah, so like I
each
just
other.
And you 18 years old.
Dating her.
And there they go again with the yelling. I'm not gonna lie, it's disappointing to see that both their moms allowed this kind of mess, especially Mr. Houston's mom. Her son literally has 2 ladies pregnant, and she's acting like it's not a big deal. What the hell?
Your Honor, I asked for DNA multiple times, more than 3 times, because I already knew that me telling them at 8 months that I was pregnant, I already knew it was probably going to be like some denial. So I offered the DNA test. And then the mom was like,
So why did the coworker say somebody else was the baby daddy?
What coworker?
Manager said.
The manager.
The manager
Your
said,
Honor,
oh, you're one
Your
of the guys that she's claiming to be her baby daddy.
That's just wild. That's honestly just wild. Mr. Houston's mom claims that her son is one of multiple men who might be the father. She says that the manager of the store where Mr. Houston's new girlfriend works said something relating to her son being among other men who Ms. Jones thinks is the father of her child.
You are now Mr. Houston's
Girlfriend.
And you also have a child together?
Yes.
Okay. When you were working, a co-worker told you something about Ms. Jones. Am I correct?
My manager did.
What did they say?
He seen Nigel come in and he said, is this the dude that dated Nakisha? And I said, yeah, that's him.
Well, Mr. Houston's girlfriend confirms that story. But then again, did the manager just pop out of the blues and say that? Or what led to him telling her that piece of information? Sounds really fishy to me.
You said that it's not about the timing, it's about the multiple men you were sleeping with.
Yes, ma'am.
What other evidence do you have that would suggest that Ms. Jones was sleeping with more than one person?
When she broke up with my son, she dropped him for another gentleman to go to prom with. When we were actually in the car with her, she answered the phone. There was a gentleman on the other line. She acted like she did not hear it.
Honestly, I believe Ms. Jones when she says they never tried to see her child. I mean, look at how they act in the courtroom. They don't even sound like people who want to be part of the baby's life.
His age, getting ready for your prom, you should be getting ready to go on to college. Figure out what you want to do with your life. Where are we now with this? Now we've got 2 children. Miss Hasty's had a baby. You have a baby. Miss Hasty, is Mr. Houston involved in your child's life?
Yes.
At least we know now that he wants to be the father of his girlfriend's child. He says that he hasn't been there for Ms. Jones's baby because he doesn't know if he is the father. Well, the DNA results are going to reveal that answer. And here they come.
Mr. Houston, you are the father.
Boom!
Miss Jones?
Ms. Upshaw has brought 4 of her daughter-in-law's children to have them tested and know if her son is the father of her kids. Crazy, right? She says that her son, Mr. Upshaw, married a loose woman, and she feels there's a high chance that the kids belong to other men. Well, here's how the case begins.
Ms. Upshaw, you have petitioned the court for a DNA test on 4 of your daughter-in-law's children. You say you have serious doubts because your son married, and I'll use your words, a loose woman who is rumored to have multiple lovers, including an old man whom she used for money. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wow, that definitely threw me off balance. Even the crowd could not believe that she said something like that. Anyway, Ms. Mason, the woman with the kids, says that her soon-to-be ex-husband is nothing but a mummy's boy and he can't stand up to his meddling mother.
Well, let me just ask you, Ms. Mason, is this an outfit that you would wear, say, if you were going out with Mr. Mason on a date or something?
No, Your Honor. This was clothes that I took at home.
And wear to the club.
Now, I never wore it to the club, but I will wear it to the club.
You will?
Yes.
Okay.
So, since I met her, it's been nothing but drama, promiscuity.
Looks like Ms. Upshaw was not wrong for saying what she initially said. There's no way on earth Ms. Mason would actually wear that out of the house. I mean, what is she? A stripper? She can't be serious.
Your Honor, this young lady and him took it amongst. They said, I found out they was married on Facebook.
What? Jerome, hand me that.
They didn't answer the phone for me for 2 weeks.
This is
my
what?
friend brought a Facebook post that was posted on Facebook. A young lady that I know brought up to my house said, your son married.
But why we gotta tell her everything? Me and her not together. Me and her son are together.
I'm sorry, but what did they just say? How do you get married and not tell your mother? Now they're making Ms. Upshaw look like she's crazy. It's very much her business if her son is getting married to someone she does not know.
I want to take care of my kid and I want to be there. That's all I want to do.
So, Mom, you shaking your head because you don't believe that these children are his.
Your Honor, I give the twins the benefit of the doubt of being my grandkids more than I do any other.
Let's start with Kayla.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to start with Kayla.
Yes, ma'am.
That's hilarious. Ms. Upshaw says that she doesn't feel Caleb, one of the kids in question, does not belong to her son because he has an old soul, and she also feels like the baby belongs to an old man she used to sleep with for money. I wonder what she's going to say next.
You had some older man that you were in a relationship with, and I want to be clear because she says sleep with an old man for money. Now I want to make sure I'm clear. Were you dating an older man?
No, he was just a friend.
So you're denying that there was ever a sexual relationship with the older man, or was there?
No, there was a sexual relationship. Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
That's honestly not shocking coming from his mouth. The battle here has always been between Ms. Upshaw and Ms. Mason. Mr. Mason admits to knowing that she slept with an old man, but still believes he is the father of the child. I guess we'll see.
I gave her the benefit of the doubt because twins runs on his daddy's side of the family. His daddy brother got a set of twins, and his grandma and sister got a set of twins. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Then somebody comes telling me this other guy baby. And I did all this involve myself and them my babies. I love them twins.
She must really love those twins if she's getting emotional just talking about them. She says that she's built a bond with the twins and it would crush her heart if the results revealed that she is not the grandmother.
The twins come from the mother producing too many eggs. So she releases a bunch of eggs, the sperm's there, they make 2 babies. As far as the father of the baby's concerned, he can bring nothing to the union with the mom to make twins at that interaction. So they can be in his family. He could pass it on to grandchildren, but he could not cause her to have twins.
Ms. Upshaw's heart might be getting crushed. The expert judge Lauren brought in to talk about twins says that twins being formed have nothing to do with the male and that it's usually the female who's responsible for twins being formed. That didn't sit right with Ms. Upshaw.
Dramatized, like she's very fake. Like she's very fake.
Let me tell you something, y'all. Both of them fake. I'm gonna keep it like that. Both of them fake. I'm just sick and tired of it. It's just like, I'm not with the drama. I'm not with it. I'm just ready to get the DNA test over with. All for mine. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Take care of, be in that life.
I'm not even surprised they're about to get divorced. Having a mother-in-law like Ms. Upshaw would definitely drive you crazy. Mr. Upshaw is tired of their drama. All he wants to know is if the kids are his or not.
Listen, there's one more baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Brooklyn, 1 month old. Beautiful little girl. You have doubts surrounding the paternity of Brooklyn as well.
Ma'am, young, this is my first time ever seeing that little baby right here.
You've never seen her?
Never.
No.
Never.
No.
Then you never saw her either?
Did you have it?
Ain't say me, I'm talking about mom.
Did you ever have an opportunity to see her?
Ma'am, on my way, the day when I taught the show and I had talked to someone who about the show, my son had talked, so I got on the train, I was going downtown.
Once again, it's really not shocking that she's seeing that baby for the first time. They kept their marriage a secret. I doubt there's nothing they can't keep from here. Oh well, enough with their drama. Here are the results from the DNA test.
Mr. Mason, you are the father. Are you ready for the next result, Miss Mason?
Yes.
When it comes to 1 month old Brooklyn Mason, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Mason, you are the father. When it comes to 2-year-old twins, Carrie and Kawan Mason, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Mason, you are the father.
Woo. Yeah.
Ms. Fisher is in the courtroom today to prove that the defendant, Mr. Stewart, is her daughter's biological father. Mr. Stewart says that he knows Ms. Fisher was with multiple partners during the window of conception and also says that she's trying to pin the baby on him because she knows that he is a good father. Well, here's how the whole thing started.
Ms. Fisher, you're here to prove that Mr. Stewart is your daughter Kalia's biological father.
Yes, Sean.
You state that your daughter has a serious medical condition and it is imperative that you know the father's medical history. Is that correct?
Yes, Sean.
Well, clearly all Ms. Fisher wants out of this case is to know who her baby's father is. Her daughter has a condition, and she wants to know if the father has the same condition so she can give her daughter the necessary care and medication that she needs.
A week after we started messing around, she come out and she showed me a pregnancy test. I'm like, it's not my baby.
So a week after you all started having a sexual relationship, she brings you a pregnancy test and says she's pregnant?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
So you don't believe you're the father of her child?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Fisher, tell me what happened.
I woke up one morning, I wasn't feeling well, and I've been pregnant before, so I pretty much knew before I took the test I was pregnant.
Can she really blame him? They got into a sexual relationship, and after a week she says she's pregnant? Even I would not accept the baby. That right there looks like she's actually trying to pin the baby on Mr. Stewart.
After this is over, did the relationship continue?
Yes, he was just at my house like a week and a half ago.
I got bored. I got bored,
You got bored?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you get bored, you go over Miss Fisher's house and have unprotected sex?
Sometime.
He did not just say that to Judge Lauren. He better tread carefully. He is about to get on Judge Lauren's nerves, and he is not going to like that. Oh well, Ms. Fisher admits that they were together in bed just a week before the court case. They must really love each other's company.
What do you know and how do you know it?
Well, she named another potential father as the biological father, and then on top of that, another man signed the birth certificate.
Wait a minute. She named claimed another man as the biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which man is this?
Mr. Kern.
Mr. Kern?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's in court today, but the second part of your statement was...
This doesn't even make any sense. She initially said that he was not around when she gave birth to the child. Her daughter has another man's name on the birth certificate, and now she's saying that he chose to give her daughter his last name? What in the world is going on?
So, Miss Fisher, Mr. Kern, who we're going to hear from in a second, let's talk about your relationship with him. Were you intimate with him as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you intimate with him during the time you were also intimate with Mr. Stewart?
Yes, ma'am.
Was this during the window of conception?
Yes.
Did you use protection with Mr.?
No.
Well, newsflash, that doesn't count, Ms. Fisher. That doesn't count. As long as you slept with him without using protection, there's a high chance he could be a possible father. But why on earth would she be sleeping with two different men during the window of conception? That's just wrong.
Biological father, were you aware of this?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not denying that I'm not her father. I'm denying because Miss Fisher, she always been lying to me, you know what I'm saying? Because we already done went through this one time with her older child.
What do you mean?
We started inboxing each other on Facebook.
It always starts with Facebook, don't it, Jerome?
And we started inboxing each other, you know what I'm saying? Then we got real cornered, you know. We decided we wanted to.
Wow, Ms. Fisher must really be on her game. The other man she had a sexual relationship with walked into the courtroom and said that this is not his first rodeo with Ms. Fisher. She did this same thing with her first child. What a woman. Paternity issue with 2 kids? Come on.
No, I was devastated. I was crushed about it.
So now there is a paternity question as it relates to Kalia, another baby. Were you intimate with Miss Fisher during the window of time in which Kalia was conceived?
Yes, Your Honor, I was.
Without using protection?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is just ridiculous. Were you all in a relationship? Were you commit? What was it?
Man, it was just, you know, I know you listen to songs, right?
You better listen to that advice. Seems like every time he listens to it, he ends up in a paternity issue with Ms. Fisher. Oh well, as you'd expect, he and Ms. Fisher were not in a romantic relationship. It was all about kicking in bed and having a good time.
And so right now she indicated the doctors were trying to determine whether or not a surgery would be needed.
So they would put a patch over that hole and try to keep the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood from touching.
How is it genetically linked, if at all?
So that's a difficult answer. There's lots of factors that come into play. There's toxins that can be exposed, the child can be exposed to in utero.
That's right, the stakes are very high and this is no joke at all. Her daughter has a serious medical condition and she needs to find the father so she can avoid any catastrophic situation. The crazy part is none of these men have any heart conditions.
It's a shame that you're running around having sex with no protection and making babies and still doing it, where you could potentially make another one and be in the same position as this one. This is not a game. Miss Fisher, when you hear this and you talk about wanting your child to know who her biological father is, do you understand now the part you have to play in that lack of knowing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's hope all the scolding goes into their heads. None of them men want to accept that they are the fathers of the kids. I'm sure the DNA results will reveal the truth. Let's see what they have to say.
Mr. Kern, you are not the father. Mr. Stewart, you are not the father.
After finding out she had a terminal illness, Ms. Holshoe seeks to uncover the true identity of who her biological father is, only to find out the most shocking surprises on her journey. It's one roller coaster to the next in this episode.
Miss Holshoe, you claim your mother had an affair with the defendant's father, and today you're in court to prove that he is your biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Miss Howard, you and your sisters say Miss Holshoe is a delusional troublemaker whose promiscuous mother destroyed your family and ruined your home. You say Miss Holshoe is dragging your father's name through the mud, and there is absolutely no way she is related to you. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Now things get really heated in a matter of seconds. It felt like they all hated themselves from their previous lives. Apparently, the alleged father had passed away, but his daughters, for sure, weren't going to welcome Miss Holshoe with open arms.
And also, I'm in the obituary as his daughter.
You are?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
That was a big mistake that her name was put into the obituary. Our father's sister did that.
No.
And did not tell any of us about it. Our father didn't even mention her.
Ms. Holshoe found out she had a real dad in the most awkward way. Trust me, your mind isn't going to believe what you're about to hear. Her stepdad and mom were having an argument. Boom! The bomb drops and she can't believe what she hears.
Because my stepdad was drunk and he was fighting with my mother, and he said, well, who do you think your father is? And so after that, my mother told me, and she took me and introduced me to DL, and we had a relationship.
Now, the sisters for sure weren't going easy on Ms. Holshoe. They felt she was an imposter who was trying to spoil their family's name. They stood their ground and denied every single thing Ms. Holshoe said in the courtroom. Trust me, it was quite a show.
I was 19 at the time.
So you remember this day?
Oh, with clearly, like it was yesterday. They were sitting in a booth with my dad across from her and her mother. I was standing at the end, and he said, I just brought you guys here to let you know that she's your sister. And that was the one and only time that my dad ever mentioned her till the day he died.
Some really interesting stories started to fly around the courtroom. Everyone was trying to air out their minds and beliefs. In the process, some nasty revelations jumped out. Trust me, they weren't nice, and some of it was just super fishy. But Ms. Holshoe stood her ground by saying,
my father had gone to at the bar where her mother was working and caught her cheating on him. That gave me the thought that obviously her mother probably has no idea who any of her children belong to.
It's not my fault you guys don't want to know me. It's not my fault that your dad had sex with my mother, and I'm a product of that.
The courtroom was pretty heated up at this point, with both parties throwing shade at each other. Another one of their sisters walks into the courtroom. Surprisingly, she's on Ms. Holshoe's side. She believes that there is a chance that Ms. Holshoe is her sister. Now that's interesting, wouldn't you say?
I believe that she is.
You do? Tell the court why.
Because my father told me that she was.
She just needs a family, Your Honor, because her whole family, she's shut out. They've shut her out because she's such a devil.
Tell me about that moment when you were informed or your father told you.
Well, we were out one day, and I was about 19, and he said that he wanted me to meet one of his girlfriends. Okay, I had met several of them before.
Now she had quite a lot to say. Not only did she back up Ms. Holshoe's claim of being their sister, she also said their father was no saint. He was also messing around with other women. Wow.
He is our hero to this day. And I'm not going to bash him, but yes, he loved women, and that's just the way it was. Some men hunt, some men don't.
Okay, well said. Now, your sisters seem to think that Miss Holshoe's just trying to stir the pot. She's trying to get into your family. You two are best friends, and you all want to be sisters. And
well, it's time to spill the beans on whether she was really his daughter or if it was all a joke. All eyes are on the judge as she gets ready to give the final verdict.
It has been determined by this court that the probability of half-siblingship between Diana Howard and Misty Lynn Holshoe is 98.1%.
This is Ms. Austin's third time on paternity court. She's no stranger to proving her children's paternity to Mr. Wallace, who once again has doubts that her 9-month-old son is his. Mind you, she's pregnant with a third child by him, and she and Mr. Wallace aren't even together. It's a crazy case, and here is how it begins.
Last time we was here, everything started out okay. But we all knew that wasn't gonna last long. Ranielle Wallace was still bouncing back from me and Kendrelyn. I had enrolled in school, but I never did go because I had got pregnant once again with Ranielle. And she got pregnant with her baby, with her son. And as you can see now, once again, I'm pregnant again.
Seems like these three are in a polyamorous relationship and don't even know it. Two women taking turns getting pregnant for one man is just so silly. And every single time this happens, Mr. Wallace doubts he is responsible for the pregnancies. Why then is he messing around with women he doesn't trust?
Because she's very promiscuous. When we was together, I had installed, it was like spyware on her phone. They swear they would duplicate her text messages and call log and send a copy to my email. And again, for about the 5th, 6th time, I called her texting different men.
Didn't see that one coming? If he truly believes she's promiscuous, why does he keep having children with her? One child wasn't enough, so you had a second, and now there's a third on the way. Yet you call her a slut. The same woman who might soon be the mother of 3 of your kids? Crazy.
If I'm dead, so why you keep on sleeping with me? Why? 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 I'm pregnant again. Why? 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 Why?
Easy access.
Why? Why? You say that about her?
Right.
Yeah.
So
why
now,
do you keep allowing me to sleep?
I'm gonna keep on just because I know that you with her.
Okay, this is serious. Ms. Austin's question is very valid. Why did he keep sleeping with her if she thought she was promiscuous? And why on earth is his girlfriend, Ms. Roberts, so mad? Was she really going to hit her in front of a judge?
Because I was hurt.
But if you...
by trying to get back to Aunt Ranielle for the things that he has done to me.
And so at the end of the day, you all can see now that two wrongs never make a right. And then you were wrong for being pregnant and talking to other men and expecting him to then believe your child is his child automatically.
Cheating on your partner is no payback for their infidelity. It will cost you 2 at the end of the day, as we can see with Ms. Austin and Mr. Wallace. 3 potential babies together, yet they don't see eye to eye. What a terrible situation.
I feel like we have certain features, but you can't just base it all off look.
They have the same chin.
Let me see that. Is that evidence you'd like to present?
Yes.
Okay. Walk me through what these pieces of evidence are. The first piece is
the chin. You see that chin? Look at their feet.
So you say their feet are alike?
Yeah.
But they don't change your mind?
No, ma'am. It's just like you go to a police lineup. They put you in there with 6 other men who look just like you.
Really? His feet and chin? Those are the features you chose to compare? It's valid, but kind of funny. At the end of the day, though, as Mr. Wallace said, it's not really about the looks, is it?
A family. And I did what I had to do to move into the apartment, Your Honor. I do everything for him. I stood by his side when he had his apartment. He went through a lot, and I was there by his side. Never left, never left. And I could have left. I could have walked away. I had a family. Like, I could have walked away, but I didn't. I stood by his side in earth school. He left me. He keeps leaving me.
You can't but feel pity for Ms. Austin. She loves this man. Yet he keeps treating her like trash and walking away every time. This information and the fact that they have been here 3 times show how irresponsible the man is. It is such a shame.
He left my house. He leaves my house and goes spends the night out at Kendrick's house, with his stuff still being at my house until I took it to his mom's house, and that's where his stuff been at ever since. He just came back to my house not long ago like 3 days ago, because him and Kendrick had a fight.
When you just broke down a moment ago, I felt for you.
These women are at fault too, letting Mr. Wallace waltz in and out of their lives whenever he pleases. If none of them stands up to put an end to this mess, they might just find themselves on paternity court for a 4th time.
It's determined today that Mr. Wallace is Ronell's father. Is that what you're hoping?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
And Mr. Wallace, what are you hoping for today?
I'm just agitated.
You feel agitated?
Yes.
Tell me.
Because of the bull crap performance she put on. Look, well, I need to walk out.
Whoa. That explosion was unexpected. Mr. Wallace insists Ms. Austin is putting on a show and Judge Lauren is falling for it. He's angry because the judge is taking her side. This is a whole new level of reaction.
I'm not going to let you leave here thinking I'm taking anybody's side. I'm asking the questions that need to be asked. Now, we're going to get you these results because you came here because you wanted to know, right?
Yes.
Are you Ronell's father?
Great. Let's find out what the DNA results say and put an end to this drama.
Mr. Wallace, you are Ronell's father.
This one say you would never have a baby that look as good as my child. Come on now.
My little boy look just like me.
Both brown eyes, but then they got a blue eye baby.
Wherever his daddy at, he got some nice eyes.
One thing you can always expect in paternity court is for dads to lose their minds when the results are revealed. It's either they didn't want to step up or karma finally caught up with them. These are some of those situations. Ms. Sanders admits to having another man sign the birth certificate for her 6-month-old son, Caleb. She is now convinced that the biological father of her son now happens to be the defendant, Mr. Brady. She has asked the court for a DNA test to prove to Mr. Brady that he is indeed the father of her child. Mr. Brady, on the other hand, says that it is genetically impossible for him to be the father of her child, and therefore Ms. Sanders needs to get her child expenses from her son's actual father. As you can see, this is going to be one hell of a case. This is how their case begins in the courtroom.
I have to get him diapers, clothes, everything, and that is not cheap.
Does he visit the baby?
I came through the neighborhood one day, and he asked me if he could see my baby.
Why would I take care of a baby that's not mine? Why would I visit a baby that's not mine?
Now the case starts off with Ms. Sanders telling the judge that Mr. Brady has not done a single thing for her child. As she tries to explain further, Mr. Brady cuts her short and says that he can't take care of a child that does not belong to him. He then goes to the board and explains to the judge that the reason he does not believe he is the father of the child is because the baby has green eyes, and nobody in his family has ever had green eyes. What's even funny is that Ms. Sanders also does not have green eyes. So where did the baby get the green eyes from?
He was playing me from the left because I didn't want to be with him no more. So he got mad because I got back with my ex. He saying he don't want me, but he constantly texts my phone, somebody, so what's up?
I come to the house, dudes coming and going all the time. Like, I left her house.
How you gonna tell me that dude's coming and going, but you
I
not?
left her
if
house
a dude
and the
gonna
dude came through, the same dude who she was texting.
Wow. It's actually very surprising that these two were able to sit down in the same room and agree to have a child together. Now, Mr. Brady explains to the judge that another reason he doubts that he is the father of the baby is because when Ms. Sanders got pregnant, she never informed him. He found out about the baby from a friend of his. Aside from that, she got back with her ex-boyfriend, and that just made him doubt he was the father even more. Whew. Remember when I said this case was going to be a lot? I think you can see why I said that now. Well, Ms. Sanders also tells the judge that she didn't see the point asking Mr. Brady to help out with the child because they don't have any form of communication.
He just wanted to just act all nonchalant on the phone. So I was like, okay, what if I don't even want to talk no more? He said, hold on, wait.
But
you still gonna give me them shoes?
My baby, why was she
He asked about some shoes. He wanted
you to get him some shoes?
Just me and him, we talked about getting some shoes. So he never had a job or anything. So why would I put a baby on someone who couldn't even help me take care of the baby?
But he says you had another man sign the birth certificate.
Yes, my ex-boyfriend before me and Jamaris got together.
The truth bombs just keep dropping. Ms. Sanders finally admits that she did allow another man to sign the birth certificate for the child. Funny enough, it was her ex-boyfriend that actually signed the birth certificate. In her defense, she says that Mr. Brady did not have a job, and she was not about to allow a man who could not take care of himself to be the father of her child. She explained that her ex-boyfriend was an understanding person, and they talked things out and promised that they would be there for the baby. But the major reason she allowed him to sign the birth certificate was because throughout the pregnancy, it was her ex-boyfriend who stayed with her and was there when things got very complicated.
Talking about
I've been working for 9 months consecutive.
9 months and my son 6 months and I was pregnant. You have to be pregnant for 9 months, right? And Caleb is 6 months. They don't add up.
I've been school for 9 months. Yeah.
So what month was I texting this man? If you had to be pregnant for 9 months, then Caleb is 6 months. So that's 14 months. So
you're saying you had a job for 9 months?
Yes, ma'am.
And she was texting the coworker?
Yes.
There goes another truth bomb. Mr. Brady goes on to list another of his doubts. He says that another reason he doubts that the child belongs to him is because he also believes that Miss Sanders was sleeping with one of his co-workers at the office. He explains that he picked up his co-worker's phone to make a call and something funny happened. Ms. Sanders' call came in, and that immediately made him suspicious and assumed that she was also messing with the co-worker. I don't know, man. It just seems to me like Mr. Brady just does not want to accept the baby or have anything to do with her child. Oh well. Ms. Sanders, however, denies the whole thing and says that it never happened.
This is my first time ever seeing him. Since Caleb's been born, myself and my husband step up. We buy this baby everything when she needs help. We step up. And I called Mr. Brady and I said, you know, this is ridiculous. Caleb is 6 months old. You know, when are you going to step up? When are you going to participate in raising your son?
That's what the dad's for.
I mean, she isn't wrong. Mr. Brady keeps saying that he is not the father of the child, yet he forgets that for the simple fact that he slept with Ms. Sander, that actually makes him a potential father. Ms. Sanders' mother even goes on to say that since the child was born, she and her husband have been the ones taking care of the baby. When she reached out to Mr. Brady and asked him when he would step up, he just gave her a bunch of excuses. I think we've seen enough of their back and forth. Let's jump right to the results and see who's been lying all this while. Do you think Mr. Brady is the father?
Mr. Brady, you are not.
I told her that was my baby, Aunt.
Sit down.
I told her.
Sit down over there. Stand right where you stand.
I told her, Aunt. I knew it was mine. 100% positive.
Miss Sanders, he said he was positive.
So who the
I don't
other
understand.
possibilities?
I really don't understand.
Mr. Fernandez is in the courtroom with the defendant, Ms. Butler, who also happens to be his former fiancée, because they need to figure out who the father of their child is. They say everything is riding on the results from the DNA test. Mr. Fernandez says that he found evidence that indicates Ms. Butler cheated on him and another man fathered her little girl, Divine. He called off the wedding and is asking the court to have a DNA test done so he can determine if he is actually the father of the child. Ms. Butler does admit that she cheated on him, but she is pretty sure that Mr. Fernandez is the father of her child. This is how their case begins.
I cheated. Why are we here? I didn't cheat.
Okay.
Why are we here right now?
You did cheat, and that's exactly why I cheated. But he already had a girlfriend when we first got together. You know the baby is yours.
Cheat, the baby?
You know the baby is yours. You did cheat.
Oh, wow. Now that's the first time I am going to be heeding something like that. This case starts off with Judge Lauren asking Ms. Butler why she cheated on him. She goes on to explain that there was a time he came to visit her, and when she hugged him and started to kiss him, she could smell sex all over his body. She was not initially sure that he had cheated, but once she started to kiss him some more, she could tell that he had just been with another woman, and that's pretty much why she decided to cheat on him. Trust me, I am as speechless as you are.
I felt like we was broken up. He said,
like-
yeah.
Okay, so bottom line is you slept with somebody else.
Yeah, yes.
And you say you used a condom, though.
I did use a condom, yeah.
Now, how did you find out that she slept with somebody else?
I found out it took weeks of me pressing it out of her. When I came home, it was just me and her there one day. I see her phone.
Technically, that is still considered cheating. Mr. Fernandez explains to the judge that when Ms. Butler slept with another man, they were still together and even lived in the same house together. Ms. Butler, however, saw things differently. She told the judge that at the time she slept with the other man, she believed that she was no longer with Mr. Fernandez, and that's what even gave her the motivation to follow through with the cheating. She does admit to using a condom, and that's why she believes and is very certain that the baby belongs to Mr. Fernandez.
You submitted this calendar to prove that you were intimate with the plaintiff on the 1st, pretty much that whole week.
That whole week,
1st,
yes.
the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th,
Yeah.
which is during the window of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
Someone please tell Ms. Butler that things don't work that way. Apparently, Ms. Butler lied to Mr. Fernandez. She initially told him that she was allergic to latex, and so she never used condoms anytime she slept with Mr. Fernandez. Sadly, that was a lie. She presents a calendar that shows that she slept with the other man the same week she was intimate with Mr. Fernandez. Now she says that she used a condom, and due to the fact that the baby looks exactly like Mr. Fernandez, he is the father of their child. But then again, why did she lie about her being allergic to condoms?
Once you say that to a man, you can't unring that bell.
But
especially if it's already ringing in his head.
I understand, Your Honor, but you still can't. So they
Never
can just
cheated.
say whatever they want to say to us, and we just supposed to let our feelings keep getting
Well,
hurt.
no,
when
no.
he keep on denying the baby, I'm not supposed to be able to say anything.
No.
No.
Mr. Fernandez is just unbelievable. How is the ring more important to him when all this is going on? Hilarious. So during a heated argument between Mr. Fernandez and Ms. Butler, they were throwing words at each other, and in the hopes of hurting Mr. Fernandez's feelings, she told him to his face that he was not the father of her child. She even admitted that the baby belonged to the man she slept with. Now, pulling that card is very risky because Mr. Fernandez already doubts that he is the father of the child. So saying something like that to him, especially during an argument, is just her shooting herself in the leg.
I still had doubts, but she was just beautiful to me. Still is, you know? And I love her. I do love her.
Because she's
you
your
know?
baby. She look
and
just like you. That's common sense.
All
She
right.
did when she first
That's
came.
common sense.
She did when she first came. When she first came out, she did look like me. As
So-
you can see
so-
the picture.
But your father was running around. He was in and out your life, so you doing the same thing. My dad did the same thing to me.
At least, it's good that Ms. Butler just wants what's best for her little girl. She explains to the judge that her daughter has grown to the extent where she understands the arguments that she has with Mr. Fernandez, and she doesn't like that her daughter gets to hear them argue all the time. She just wants to put this case to bed and make sure that her daughter doesn't end up like she did because she grew up with her own dad jumping in and out of her life. Well, the results are in, and Judge Luarin is ready for the final verdict. Let's hope Mr. Fernandez does not lose his mind when he hears the results.
Mr. Fernandez, you are her father.
Told you. I know what I'm talking about. Do you see her? Do you see her? Do you see her? Look at her. All this time you've been doing that. All this time.
Mr. Williams finds himself in the courtroom today, petitioning the court for a DNA test to prove to his ex-girlfriend that he is the biological father of her 2-year-old twin daughters. He tells the judge that he is willing to risk his current parental rights to prove that he is without a doubt the father of the girls. Ms. Coleman, on the other hand, is very positive that Mr. Williams is not the father of her twin daughters because she cheated on him during the exact time of conception. She says when the results are revealed, she wants Mr. Williams to leave her and her daughters alone for good. Looks like she really doesn't want him around anymore. Well, this is how the case begins.
I got 13 kids, Your Honor, and it seems like this is like, it keeps happening on and on and on. Like, everybody get with, they see how close I am to the kids, and the way to hurt me if I leave them alone is to take my kids away from me. So this time, though, I signed my birth certificates, if you don't mind looking at it.
Absolutely. Let me see those. These are the birth certificates for the twins?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Okay! Now we know why the results from this are very important to Mr. Williams. He starts off by telling the judge that he has 13 kids, and every time the mothers of the kids see that he is attached to the kids, they take them away from him, and he is tired of becoming a cycle. He shows the judge the birth certificate of the twins and says that he signed the birth certificate for both of them. Now he wants to keep custody of the twins, and he doesn't want Ms. Coleman to take them away from him.
So, Ms. Coleman, he signed the birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
And you obviously allowed that.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he has joint custody.
Yes.
So why are you saying he's not the children's biological father now?
Well, he's not. And the reason why is because I did cheat on him.
Oh, that is just evil. One would honestly think that she doesn't have a heart or something. Now the judge asked Ms. Coleman why she allowed Mr. Williams to sign the birth certificates of her twins when she knew all along that he was not the father. Her response was that at the time, she needed her kids to be taken care of. She says that she knows he is not a good boyfriend, but also knows that he is a very good father. And if her kids had him as the father, she knows that she has nothing to worry about. Wow, I would be so pissed if I were to be in that courtroom.
It's just, I do. I got very emotional, I got very depressed and stressed, and I went out because he left me, and I cheated.
And you know it was that date?
Positive.
And you believe that man is the biological father of your twin?
Yes.
Well, if we follow the timeline and how she just explained the whole thing, it does seem like she's telling the truth. Ms. Coleman explains that her twins were born premature, and she gave birth to them after 7 months. She admits that she cheated on Mr. Williams because he left her, and anytime she is stressed, she uses sex as a coping mechanism to handle her feelings and depression, and that's what led her to sleeping with another man. The funny thing is that during that period, she slept with the other man. She was not sexually active with Mr. Williams, and that's why she believes he is not the father of her kids.
I was only gone for about 10 or 15 minutes, and I get a call from my friend's mother saying, oh, he ran out the house with the kids, blah, blah, blah. According to her, when she left, the children were asleep, which I know because they were asleep when I left. She said she went downstairs to check on her food because she smelt it burning.
You can't but agree with Judge Lauren on that one. If you want to leave your kids with anyone, it has to be a responsible adult. I think I see why Mr. Williams wants to have custody of the kids. As we've all seen, Ms. Coleman is not the best mother on planet Earth. She literally allowed Mr. Williams to sign the birth certificates of her twins, so she would not need to stress about who would watch the kids and care for them. I really hope Mr. Williams ends up being the father of the twins. They deserve a good father who is always going to be around to take care of them and not abandon them with irresponsible adults.
I'm saying that the kids are not his because they're not his.
Your Honor, she's saying they not mine, basically, because I'm trying to fight for my kids. Basically, that's what the whole situation
You
is
have
about.
13 children. Go fight for those and leave mine alone.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Now that's a first. I never even knew that people could walk away from the box. She must really hate being around Mr. Williams. She tells the judge that since she has been with him, it's been nothing but pain and stress. She explains that since she has known him and he has been in her life, she has never been happy because he doesn't make her happy. She even goes as far as saying that she would prefer that her daughters don't have any father than for Mr. Williams ends up being the father of her twins. Phew. I really wonder how they got to this junction in the first place. Seems like there was no love from the very beginning.
That's going to destroy them. That's going to destroy them.
Ultimately, what's at stake is the fact that this man seems to be very invested in these children. And baby, I gotta call it the way I see it. You made a choice to allow this man to sign the birth certificate because you said, I knew he'd be a bit of my kid.
Let's just say that Ms. Coleman is at a crossroads with herself, and Judge Lauren can see that. Ms. Coleman is the very person who allowed him to sign the birth certificates because she claimed he would be a good father to her kids. Now she's saying that she doesn't want him in their life because she feels like he might take the kids away from her, and she does not want that at all. At this point, I think we need to see the results. There's no progress being made with these two, and only the results can help us determine the truth. Here are the DNA results.
Mr. William, you are the father of both twins. You don't seem surprised, Miss Coleman.
I'm mad.
I can tell. I know you're happy, Mr. Williams.
Yes, I am.
Ms. Humphreys wants to prove that the defendant, Mr. Mosley, fathered her 2-month-old son while he was away from his wife. Mr. Mosley claims that he is not the father of her child, and she should point the fingers at her ex-boyfriend. If you ask me, I'd say that he should have known better when he ran off and kicked it in bed with Ms. Humphreys. He says that if the results reveal that he is the father, his wife is going to leave him for good. Sounds like a fair deal to me. The case starts off like this.
Because at the time when I got conceived, we were sexual. That was like the end of August, beginning of September.
Were you having sex with anyone else during that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were. Was that sex also unprotected?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is it with ladies and always sleeping with more than one man during the window of conception? Jeez. She isn't even certain that Mr. Mosley is the father of her child. She believes he is because she had more sex with him than the other guy. Well, that's not how it works, Ms. Humphreys. The children don't have to look like their dads before the dads accept them. We've seen those types of cases a lot of times. Mr. Mosley doubts he is the father because the child doesn't look like him, or any of his kids. We'll see about that very soon.
At the same time, well, all I can say is this. I feel like it's her fault too, Your Honor. She should never broke up with me. She should never broke up with me. If she never broke up with me, I would never did what I did.
Also, it's Miss Robinson's fault.
Oh, he can't be serious with that statement. Mr. Mosley is blaming the whole situation on his wife. He claims that if she never broke up with him, he would never have been intimate with Ms. Humphreys. Can you imagine that? Wow, I am speechless. You can tell that his wife is definitely pissed. She's mad at the fact that her husband got her into the mess. The crazy thing is that she says that he has been doing this for as long as she can remember. If I were in her shoes, I'd have left Mr. Mosley a long time ago.
She telling one man he's a father, then she's telling him he's a father.
But I know who this
is. She just sent me, Your Honor. She just sent me a week ago on Facebook that James is not the father.
Because you keep doing this. Stop doing this. Stop trying to be all up in my business.
You put me in
Tyler
that
don't belong to you.
on that.
How can she even say something like that? That's his wife. Of course she's going to be in Ms. Humphreys' business. She's the one with the child. Oh, and let's not forget the fact that she made a post saying that Mr. Mosley is not the father of the child. This is just messy. They are still sleeping with each other? My goodness. Now you understand why I said that if I were to be in Mr. Mosley's wife's shoes, I'd have left him for good a long time ago. He is not the kind of person that's going to change one bit. As if that was not enough, his wife finally admits she is tired. But damn, did he actually say that he loves her but is not in love with her? If I heard that, my heart would shatter into a million pieces. Believe me, I very much doubt that man wants to save his family if we're being honest.
Because I have heard, as I have counseled, represented families, men, women, as a family attorney, I hear so often, you know, men, they don't talk. He just doesn't talk. No. He won't talk. He won't say. He's talking now, but y'all not listening. He's telling you exactly how he feels and how he's gonna operate.
Don't get me wrong, I feel bad, but at the same time...
Look, of course you feel bad. Mr. Mosley, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out.
I mean, they literally see the way he acts and behaves and they still want to kick it in bed with him. It's shocking that his wife is still with him even after everything he has said and all he has done. Ha. Even Mr. Cool can see through their lies. He happens to be the other man Ms. Humphreys slept with. He walks into the courtroom and he says that he doesn't even know if he is the father of the baby. Honestly, I think it's time we see the results. Judge Luwarin is finally ready to give her verdict on the resulta, and here they come.
Is Mr. Mosley or Mr. Cook? His biological father is Mr. Cook.
Good.
Congratulations, Mr. Cook.
Hey, y'all.
Sit down.
I told her.
Sit down over there. Stand right where you stand.
She had several men, and I didn't try to judge that against her, but I'm steady hearing. And it just put back in my head.
It's a bag of what he said. He's talking now, but y'all not listening. He's telling you exactly how he feels and how he's gonna operate.
Telling him the guys know that he's insecure with himself because he's not attractive. So they get in his head and say, "Oh, that is, the baby look just like me. The baby looks just like me."
This particular situation was messy and emotionally charged. Miss Damas brought Mr. Cole to court, claiming he hurt her deeply. While Mr. Cole didn't deny once accepting the child as his, he said he later uncovered facts that made him question everything.
Ms. Davis, you say that after accepting your daughter, Autumn, Mr. Cole abruptly ended your relationship, moved out of your home, and is now denying her. You say Mr. Cole is the only man who could be Autumn's father, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cole, you admit to initially accepting Autumn as yours and even signing her birth certificate.
Ms. Davis was confused and heartbroken. She couldn't understand how a man who once accepted her and the baby was now rejecting them. She insisted he was the only man she was intimate with during their relationship, or so she claimed.
Disappointed how he all of a sudden not claiming my daughter. He is the only man that I've been with since February.
So, Mr. Cole, you're not claiming the baby? You don't think it's yours?
Yes, I claim the baby. I still take care of the baby.
You do?
Yes. Anything she asks for, I do for the baby.
But you deny that you are her biological father.
I'm just questioning right now because ever since I met her.
You could see the pain in Mr. Cole's eyes as he recounted their story. They met at a basketball game and hit it off instantly. When she got pregnant, it felt like a dream come true until that dream slowly began falling apart.
Numbers, and we had chill a couple times.
So you continue this relationship, and at some point you find out you're pregnant?
Yes, ma'am. After me and Adrian have sex a couple times in February, I have found out I was pregnant March 21st. I was 4 weeks pregnant.
All right, I want to understand this.
And
you submitted a calendar to the court.
Yes, I also have a calendar.
That outlined your sexual relationship with Mr. Cole.
At first, Mr. Cole was excited about the pregnancy and never doubted he was the father. But soon, strangers began asking him if he was sure the baby was his even when she was just 4 weeks along. That planted the first seeds of doubt.
Like a week later, and someone walked up to me. She wasn't even pregnant that long. And people were walking up to me saying that the baby might not be mine.
Oh.
And then after a guy wrote her in her messages and was mad that she was pregnant. He wrote her right after she told me she was pregnant.
This text had come through where this man was mad because she didn't tell him and it could be his baby.
Yes.
Eventually, Mr. Cole found out Miss Davis had been intimate with another man. The other man was angry, claiming she never told him about the pregnancy. When Mr. Cole confronted her, she denied everything, but the trust was already broken.
Or asking her questions about the guy, she didn't give me any credible answers that I could believe. So I was really having doubts, and I wanted to go get a DNA test myself, but I couldn't really get one.
You couldn't get the DNA test?
They wouldn't let me because I signed the birth certificate.
Okay, so that's what I want to get to. So, Ms. Davis, once you tell Mr. Cole you're pregnant, initially he accepts it.
Yes.
So you all are going through the process of having a baby?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he's present?
His doubts grew when Miss Davis posted a photo of the child and the man she had allegedly been with, and people began saying the baby looked like that man's kids. Even though Mr. Cole's family said the baby resembled him, the confusion was too much to ignore.
Picture on one of her social medias, the same guy who wrote her when she first got pregnant writes her again and says, "Your daughter looks like my kid."
Really?
Yes, Your Honor. I did that because, like he said, people was coming up to him asking him was Autumn his, and I just did a split image of those three and was asking the same people who does Autumn look like more, because I'm 100% sure that Adrian is the father of Autumn.
Finally, the moment of truth arrived. Tension filled the courtroom as everyone waited for the DNA results. Mr. Cole's heart was torn between his love for the child and fear of betrayal. Now it was time to see what the truth really was.
You are not the father. Ms. Davis, would you like to finally just lay it on the line and tell the truth?
It hurts. It's embarrassing. I thought he was the father.
This is one of these defining moments in your life, right?
Right.
From this moment forward, you can...
Miss Sanders confessed to the court that she allowed another man, her ex-boyfriend, to sign her son Caleb's birth certificate. Now, she believes that Mr. Brady is the biological father and has requested a DNA test to prove it.
Diapers, clothes, everything, and that is not cheap.
Does he visit the baby?
I came through the neighborhood one day,
and
he asked me if he could see my baby.
Why would I take care of a baby that's not mine? Why would I visit a baby that's not mine?
Mr. Brady quickly interrupted, arguing that he shouldn't be expected to care for a child that isn't his. He pleaded out that Caleb has green eye, something no one in either family has, raising more doubts in his mind.
He was playing me from the left because I didn't want to be with him no more. So he got mad because I got back with my ex. He said he don't want me, but he constantly takes my phone, somebody, so what's up?
I come to the house, dudes coming and going all the time. Like, I left her house.
How you gonna tell me that dude's coming and going, but you
I left her house and the dude came through, the same dude who she was
Mr. Brady added that Miss Sanders Sanders never informed him of her pregnancy. Instead, he found out from a friend. The situation worsened when he learned she had gotten back with her ex, which made him even more convinced the baby wasn't his.
He just wanted to just act all nonchalant on the phone. So I was like, okay, what if I don't even want to talk anymore? He said, hold on, wait.
But
you still gonna give me them shoes?
My baby, why would she
he asked about some shoes. He
wanted you to get him some shoes?
Just me and him, we talked about getting some shoes. So he never had a job or anything. So why would I put a baby on someone who couldn't even help me take care of the baby?
But he says you had another man sign the birth certificate.
Yes, my ex-boyfriend before me and Jamaris got together.
Eventually, Miss Sanders admitted that her ex-boyfriend signed the birth certificate because Mr. Brady didn't have a job at the time. She said her ex was present throughout the pregnancy and supported her when things got tough.
Talking about
I've been working for 9 months consecutive.
9 months and my son 6 months and I was pregnant. You have to be pregnant for 9 months, right? And Caleb is 6 months. They don't add up.
I've been school for 9 months.
So what month was I texting this man? If you had to be pregnant for 9 months, then Caleb is 6 months. So that's 14 months. So
you're saying you had a job for 9 months?
Yes, ma'am.
And she was texting the coworker.
Mr. Brady then dropped another accusation, saying he suspected Miss Sanders of being involved with one of his coworkers. He explained that her name popped up on his colleague's phone, and it made him uneasy.
This is my first time ever seeing him. Since Caleb's been born, myself and my husband step up. We buy this baby everything when she needs help. We step up. And I called Mr. Brady and I said, you know, this is ridiculous. Caleb is 6 months old. You know, when are you going to step up? When are you going to participate in raising your son?
That's what the dad's for.
Even though Mr. Brady kept denying the child, the fact remains that he was intimate with Miss Sanders. Her mother testified that she and her husband have been the ones caring for the baby, that Mr. Brady always had an excuse when asked for help.
Mr. Brady, you are not.
I told her that was my baby, Sit
down.
I told her.
Sit down over there. Stand right where you standing.
I told her, I knew it was mine. 100% positive.
Miss Sanders, he said he was positive.
So who the
I don't
other
understand.
possibilities?
I really don't understand.
Mr. Fernandez and Miss Butler, once engaged, now find themselves in court trying to determine who the real father of their daughter, Divine, is. Mr. Fernandez suspects she cheated and believes another man could be the father.
I cheated. Why are we here? I didn't cheat. Okay. Why are we here right now?
You did cheat, and that's exactly why I cheated. But he already had a girlfriend when we first got together. You know the baby is yours.
The baby?
You know the baby is yours. You did.
Judge Lauren kicked things off by asking Miss Butler why she cheated. She claimed that when Mr. Fernandez came to visit, she could smell sex on him. Though she didn't have proof, she was convinced he had just been with another woman, which pushed her to cheat out of anger and hurt.
I felt like we was broken up. He said
like
yeah.
Okay, so bottom line is you slept with somebody else.
Yeah, yes.
And you say you used a condom though.
I did use a condom. Yeah.
Now how did you find out that she slept with somebody else?
I found out it took weeks of me pressuring it out of her. When I came home, it was just me and her there one day. I see her phone.
Mr. Fernandez argued that they were still in a relationship and living together when Miss Butler was with someone else. Miss Butler, however, claimed she thought their relationship was already over at that point.
You submitted this calendar to prove that you were intimate with the plaintiff on the 1st, pretty much that whole week.
That whole week,
1st,
yes.
the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th,
yeah.
Which is during the window of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
But things got sketchy when Miss Butler's earlier lies came to light. She'd once told Mr. Fernandez she was allergic to latex and never used condoms with him yet. Now she claims she used one with the other man.
Once you say that to a man, you can't unring that bell.
But
especially if it's already ringing in his head.
I understand, Your Honor, but you still can't. So they can just say whatever they want to say to us, and we just supposed to let our feelings keep getting hurt.
No.
When he keep on denying the baby, I'm not supposed to be able to say anything.
No.
The courtroom heated up when Miss Butler, during a fight, told Mr. Fernandez he wasn't the father and that the child belonged to the other man. Considering he already had doubts, that statement hit hard and made things even worse between them.
I still had doubts, but she was just beautiful to me. Still is, you know, and I love her. I do love her.
Because she's your baby. She look just like you. That's common sense.
All right.
She did when she first came.
That's common sense.
She did when she first came. When she first came out, she did look like me, as you can see.
But your father was running around. He was in and out your life, so you doing the same thing. My dad did the same.
She doesn't want her child to grow up in a toxic environment or experience the instability she did as a child. The moment of truth is finally here. Judge Lauren has the DNA results in hand, and everyone is holding their breath.
Mr. Fernandez, you are her father.
Told you. I know what I'm talking about. Do you see her? Do you see her? Do you see her? Look at her. All this time you've been doing that. All this time.
Mr. Mosley finds himself in court after fathering a 2-month-old child with Miss Humpher while still married. He denies being the baby's father and points fingers at Miss Humpher's ex-boyfriend instead. He's terrified that if the results prove him wrong, his wife will leave him for good.
Because at the time when I got conceived, we were sexual. That was like the end of August, beginning of September.
Were you having sex with anyone else during that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were. Was that sex also unprotected?
Yes, Your Honor.
But Miss Humpher, on the other hand, isn't even certain who the father is. She believes it's Mr. Mosley because they had more sexual encounters than she did with the other man. Mr. Mosley still doubts paternity, especially since the baby doesn't resemble him or any of his other kids.
At the same time, well, all I can say is this. I feel like it's her fault too, Your Honor. She should never broke up with me. She should never broke up with me. If she never broke up with me, I would never did what I did.
Also, it's Miss Robinson's fault.
Trying to dodge responsibility, Mr. Mosley blames everything on his wife, claiming her breaking up with him led him into Miss Humpher's arms. His wife, however, isn't buying it. She says this isn't the first time he's done something like this, and she's clearly had enough of the lies and betrayal.
Telling one man he's a father, then she's telling him he's a father.
But I know who the
and she
dad
just
is.
sent me, Your Honor.
Mr.
She
Mom.
just sent me a week ago on Facebook that James is not the father. Called me out
Because
my
you
name.
keep doing this.
Let me
Stop
see
doing
that,
this. Stop trying to be all up in my business.
You put me
Tyler
in that
don't
empty left
belong
number
to you.
again on that.
The situation gets worse when it's revealed that Mr. Mosley and Miss Humpher are still intimate. His wife is devastated, especially after hearing him admit that he loves her but isn't in love with her. At this point, she realizes he's not the man who wants to save their family.
Because I have heard, as I have counseled, represented families, men, women, as a family attorney, I hear so often, you know, men, they don't talk. He just doesn't talk. He won't talk.
To top it all off, other potential father, Mr. Cool, shows up in court and admits he also has no idea whether the child is his. With emotions high and the tension in the courtroom thick, Judge Lauren finally prepares to read the DNA results. Let's find out who's been telling the truth.
It's Mr. Mosley or Mr. Cook. His biological father is Mr. Cook.
Good.
Congratulations, Mr. Cook.
Mr. Bird felt like he was being played by the woman he once loved. He took Miss Stephanie to court, demanding his name be removed from the birth certificate, convinced the child wasn't his.
Gosh, you've dragged Miss Stephens to court because you say you're being played for a fool. And when today's DNA results prove that you are not her daughter, Phelan's father, you demand that your name be removed from her birth certificate and you be reimbursed for the past 8 months of child care expenses. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
He told the judge he had never known his own father and just wanted to do the right thing. Despite his doubts, he still signed the birth certificate to be there for Miss Stephanie and the baby.
I want to be a good guy and do the right thing by signing the birth certificate because on my birth certificate, my father didn't sign my name.
At the point that you signed the birth certificate, did you have doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you did it anyway?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by doing so that you would now be the legal father of this child?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's the way the court would acknowledge you.
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
are the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you don't believe you're the biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
As expected, tensions rose when the two began arguing. Miss Stephanie couldn't believe the man who supported her through pregnancy was now denying the baby. She reminded him no one forced him to sign anything.
Sign the birth certificate, cut the umbilical cord. I didn't force you to do anything. You chose to do that willingly because you felt obviously that she was your child.
That because I was having unprotected sex with you, and it's a slight possibility that the child might have been mine. But I was with my girl for 2 years. And I just feel like, you was sleeping with this guy. What make you think he wasn't a father? You was having unprotected with him.
So wait, let me understand this. What kind of relationship were you all in now?
It's supposed to be in the one night stand,
You said something to do.
Judge Lauren had to interrupt their bickering to understand what was going on. Stephanie believed they were in a committed relationship, while Mr. Bird insisted it was just a fling. He even claimed to have had another girlfriend at the time.
Fernando, we was together all the time. It wasn't no one night stand. We was together consistently every day. My mom was there with my kids.
Did you think you all were in a relationship?
I didn't think we were in a relationship, but I thought it was more because I knew that my intentions was to make it more than what it was.
But you knew I had another girl, and you also said this to me, pillow talking, like you gonna try to take me away from my girl. You know what I'm saying? Trying to set me up, trying to trap me.
Mr. Bird then accused her of seeing other men, saying he'd heard guys in his neighborhood boasting about sleeping with her. He said he couldn't trust that the child was his.
Showing because I didn't know how many guys she slept with. You know, guys coming out the blue in the neighborhood where I stay, just come out the blue. I hit that, 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 I hit that.
He's going off what other people say, and he's going off what other people saying. Ask him, does he know anything that's for sure, not what people are saying.
Mr. Barrage, what do you know for sure? Do you have any proof of this?
He claimed he had proof of her being unfaithful, but when he presented it in court, it turned out to be nothing substantial. His accusations quickly lost credibility.
The other guy has light eyes.
Yes, Your Honor. And for one, Your Honor,
Me and my
I'm
mom
brown
both
skinned, Your
have
Honor.
light brown eyes.
Hey, the guy got light-skinned complexion, Your Honor.
So these are all the factors you believe that add up so that you're not Phelan's father.
Yes, Your Honor. And, Your Honor, people say the baby looked just like him, Your Honor.
People say, you see, he keep bringing
What have
up
people told you?
Miss Stephanie recalled the good times they shared after the baby's birth, but everything shifted after a heated argument in front of her family, which led Mr. Bird to cut ties and demand a DNA test before taking any responsibility.
We go to my mom's house, we're celebrating. So we're drinking. Me and Mr. Barrage ended up getting into an argument. I seen some text messages in his phone from another female, so I confronted him on that. He got this big thing. I guess he thought I tried to front of my family, front him off in front of my family. So he just went off, said, oh, from day one, she's not my baby and I want a DNA test.
Then came the shocker, miss. Stephanie revealed she was 5 months pregnant with another child, and this one also belonged to Mr. Bird. Even Judge Lauren was stunned by the revelation.
I had a bad past. I didn't have several women, you know, before her, and she didn't have several men. And I didn't try to judge that against her, but I'm steady hearing. And it just put back in my head.
It's a bag up what he said. My mother or my biological mother or father didn't raise me. I was a foster child. My biological mom wasn't in my life, nor my father. I didn't meet him till I was 12.
To support her, Stephanie's sister testified that she was certain the baby was his. She knew her sister well and would have known if she had been seeing anyone else at the time.
So you wasn't up in the room sleeping with us?
I be my sister every day. I know my sister like the back of my own hand. If she was messing with anyone, she'd confide in me. I feel that Fernando is insecure with himself. He listens to what everybody telling him. The guys know that he's insecure with himself because he's not attractive. So they get in his head and say, oh, that is, the baby look just like me. The baby looks just like me.
And finally, the moment of truth arrived. The DNA results would determine everything was Mr. Bird, really the father, or had Miss Stephanie been lying all along. The courtroom held its breath.
Mr. Barrage, you are her father.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I tell him all the time, misery loves company. Of course, they don't nobody.
Trying to believe I was father.
And at any point, did she change her tune? Did she say, on second thought, it could be Mr. New?
I signed the birth certificate and everything.
The list of psycho women never ends on paternity court. They play cool during the case, but by the time the DNA tests are revealed, that's when they show you their true colors and how crazy they can be. These are some of those moments when ladies try to attack Judge Lauren. Mr. Wiseman is furious as hell. Why? Well, he allowed his good friend to move in with him and his girlfriend, and this good friend of his ended up kicking it in bed with his girlfriend. Now he fears that his best friend might be the father of their child. Could he be right? Oh well. Here's how he opens his case.
Mr. Wiseman, you say the defendant was a good friend of yours. You claim he repaid your generosity by sleeping with your girlfriend, locked in a paternity dispute over which of you fathered 2-year-old Brett Wiseman. Was strictly a friendship.
Yes.
You argue it.
You're speechless, right? Trust me, I am too. In what world does something like this even happen? Mr. New, the supposed good friend, says that he is very protective of Mr. Wiseman's girlfriend because he believes she's carrying his baby. Wow.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you even find out, Mr.
Somebody in her family came and told me.
What did that person tell you?
We told him ourselves, Your Honor, once we started.
What? Pretty much told me, like, if you can't see it, because, it was just becoming too close of friends.
I don't know, man. It feels like there are loopholes in his story. Mr. Wiseman tells the judge that one of his girlfriend's family members told him that she had been sleeping with his friend Mr. New. That definitely can't be the only way he found out she was cheating.
She was at her grandma's house because they was already broke up because he cheated on her so many times and she was letting it go.
She's
Knew
the
about
cheater,
it and
just
all
like
that.
that's why he's so protected. He's so protected because you have to be with her. She gonna go to the next man.
I'll let her do what she wants.
Yeah,
she don't.
You gotta watch your language in this court. Jerome, please stand in between them.
Aha! I knew something wasn't adding up with the story Mr. Wiseman was telling. Mr. New says that the only reason his girlfriend was cheating on him was because he had cheated on her numerous times with other women. Somehow that sounds like a story she just made up, but let's not be too quick to judge.
Until he got what he want, and then having sexual relations with other women. She never told him that she knew that, so he thought it was all cool. He was
cheating on her.
Yes, he always accused her of cheating when she wasn't. So she did sleep with my cousin. That was.
I mean, she's always been a cheater.
Honestly, I think it's time we actually hear her own side of the story. These grown men are just going at each other like two best friends in high school. Jeez, if they can't get the story right, at least the lady involved is going to make some sense from the mess.
Explain to the court the circumstances surrounding this situation and how you've arrived at this point.
Yes, so how it happened was...
So when you say Jeremiah, that's Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Okay.
Tyler was like somebody I...
That certainly clears the air. Looks like she's the only man in the situation. She said her part plain and simple without acting like a drama queen the way the men in question did. Oh well, she admits to cheating on Mr. Wiseman, and she blames it on the fact that they were having issues in their relationship.
Wiseman, when she told you she was pregnant, did you immediately think it was your child?
I mean, I definitely was happy, but I had doubt, you know, then when I found out about him. So yeah, I definitely had doubts.
Before you found out Miss Duncan was pregnant or after?
Kind of before. I mean, I was being told.
Hold on. If that's the case, why is Mr. New claiming to be the father? Mr. Wiseman tells the judge that Ms. Duncan had him believe all along that he was the father of the child. Something isn't right, and I can smell it.
She just plays both parts. She keeps...
I know what happened.
Yes, and he was just
I'm there every day now supporting your kids.
Right? Do they call you dad?
Because they're your kids,
Do they call you
So hold
dad?
on, Miss...
I support your kids.
Yeah, no,
He's
you
not
I buy your
not
kids
see
school
him.
clothes,
don't
bruh.
do nothing.
What's
What did you say,
Jaden
Miss
wearing?
Duncan?
I agree. It's an absolute mess. I'm pretty sure Mr. Wiseman was not prepared to hear that. Ms. Duncan drops a truth bomb and says that she and Mr. New are engaged. Aside from that, she's pregnant with his child. Ouch.
Jeremiah.
And that's Mr. Wiseman?
Yes.
Mr. Wiseman, when you look at Brett, do you see a resemblance?
No.
You don't?
I mean, even with my oldest kid, she was with her boyfriend for 8 months, with me and both of them, then got pregnant with him.
You was doing the same thing I was doing.
You know what I mean?
Get out of here, bruh.
Talk about a mess. It's like they just keep making babies and nobody wants to own up to being responsible for them. You know what? I think it's time we get to the results. That would definitely help us sort out their messy situation.
It has been determined that the biological father is Mr. Wiseman.
Betty don't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Betty don't.
Well,
Betty don't do nothing about it.
I'll definitely step up and do what I need to do.
It's about time. I bet you don't, though.
Mr. Harvey says that the defendant, Ms. Jett, forced him to buy baby supplies for a child whom he already denied. He wants the court to refund him all the money he spent in taking care of the child because he knows that he is not the father of the baby. Here is how he starts his case.
Mr. Harvey, you are asking the court to award you $496.52 for a child you adamantly deny is yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jett argue that today you're going to finally prove heat to this relationship. You met
After us having sex, she got pregnant.
Excuse me? She got pregnant 2 weeks after they slept with each other? That doesn't sound right. I mean, it takes only once to get pregnant, but 2 weeks seems way too early for her to say that she's pregnant.
July, I started dating Harvey. Every day, I actually moved with Harvey in July. And every day, we had sex every day.
You got pregnant 2 weeks?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so it was the second
I didn't
week.
find out till I was having sex with him every day. Yes,
And
after I found out I got pregnant, that's when I moved.
And told me to...
All this yapping. Jeez. Can one person talk? Apparently, Ms. Jett claims that she found out she was pregnant 1 month after they had been having constant sexual relations. Even that story still sounds a little too good to be true.
She found out she was pregnant. We stopped talking. She moved back to Orlando. She wrote...
Why'd you stop talking?
Because he was so sexually active with other women. He was cheating on me.
Okay, and then it ended.
Yes.
So at some point you were living apart.
Yes.
And then you demanded...
Aha! Aha! Now the stories are beginning to add up. Apparently, their breakup happened as a result of Mr. Harvey cheating on her with several women. That's one truth bomb. I'm sure there's more on the way.
To make sure you bring me all of these things. 1, diapers. 2, baby wipes. 3, pacifiers. 4, bottles and a bottle scrubber. 8, a breast pump so I can feed her milk.
Yes, I said that.
And this is all before the baby's born.
Yes, but
then you responded back,
Okay.
okay.
Honestly, I'm even surprised Mr. Harvey decided to buy all the items on her funny list. It's even crazy that the baby had not been born before she sent the list to him. She has to be one delusional young woman.
Where you had out? When did you start putting 2 and 2 together? Be specific.
Okay, when I first met Sade, she got pregnant fast, and then we stopped talking. Okay, she was in a relationship.
Your Honor,
She said she was in a sexual relationship. That's one. And another, when the baby was first born, I got evidence for that. Where she tagged another dude, like, listen.
That's actually crazy. Mr. Harvey says that his doubts started to pop up when he found out on Facebook that Ms. Jett posted a picture of the baby and tagged another man, claiming that he was the baby daddy. What's even worse is that Mr. Harvey's family members told him about the whole thing.
Why would you tag another man's name on your baby's photo?
I did not tag
She claimed that the dude out of nowhere tagged himself in it.
He tagged himself
and
in
she
the
doesn't know who he
picture
is.
by himself, and I never met him at all. And I actually have proof that I actually wrote the dude and I said, hey, my daughter's dad thinks that you're her father because you tagged yourself in the picture. And
Oh, come on! She can't be serious right now. Does she think she's talking to kids? How can someone randomly pick up her phone and tag himself as the baby daddy of her child, knowing fully that the child already has a dad? Yeah, right.
Here's all the expenses that I've been taking care for of my daughter alone. He's suing me for $500. Her diapers is a little less than what he's suing me for. And plus her feeding is double that.
I'm suing you for what I got a receipt for.
Her diapers is dang near that money, $500.
Every time you needed diapers.
It's starting to get real dicey. Ms. Jett claims that the amount Mr. Harvey is asking her to return is only a fraction of what she spends on her baby. So she doesn't understand why he's making a big deal about the whole thing.
Today, as of now, I haven't talked to her.
You haven't seen my baby since July.
You haven't seen the baby since July. So, Mr. Harvey, your doubt is just based on a face.
After she had the baby, she was trying to get pregnant again. And then she was like, and then she had started going through my phone. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go through your phone too. So I go through her phone, right?
Aha! And just like that, another truth bomb hits the floors of the courtroom. Mr. Harvey says that he went through her phone and he saw some texts where she was telling another guy to pay for an abortion. Guess what? She was not pregnant at the time.
You know about this doubt.
All I know is that when she had the baby, looking at my nephew's other children, we have strong genes. And all his brothers look alike, his brothers' kids look alike.
And I have
they have the same heads. Our family have big eyes. Xavier's family.
She looks
his children look just alike from different moms. Everybody looks like the Harveys or the Highsmith.
Could she have a point or be onto something? Mr. Harvey's aunt says that the baby does not look like anybody in their family. She very much doubts that Mr. Harvey is the father of the baby. But then again, kids don't necessarily have to look like their dad all the time.
Explain to the court the knowledge you have.
He called me and told me that Sade was pregnant.
I didn't meet.
And told me my daughter is pregnant and how.
Kim, until after the baby was born.
No, you didn't know me.
I didn't know her.
Did call me.
I did not.
At this point, it's honestly hard to believe anybody right now. Ms. Jett's mother says that Mr. Harvey called her and told her that she should not be worried about him leaving when the baby is born. I think it's time for us to see the results.
Mr. Harvey, you are not her father.
That's fine. Cause I was in a relationship before I met him. I was in a relationship.
Mr. Dark is in court today because he says that the defendant, Ms. Bailey, is a promiscuous liar who broke his heart 4 years ago by stepping out of their relationship. He admits to having a one-night stand with her, but is furious she is now saying that he is the father of their child. The case begins like this.
Mr. Dark, you say the defendant is a promiscuous liar who broke your heart 4 years ago, stepping out on your then relationship. Stand with her 2 years ago, but are furious. Ms. Bailey is now claiming you fathered her 11-month-old son, which you say is...
You can tell that these two do not like each other. If left alone, I'm pretty sure they'd turn the courtroom into a boxing ring. Ms. Bailey insists on the fact that she believes Mr. Dark is the only man who can be her father's child. Well, we'll see about that.
Out of town to do some work. In fact, I went to Florida to do some work in Florida. While I was going to Florida to do some work, I talked to Ms. Bailey about almost every day. I was gone for about 3 or 4 days, and vice versa. I was telling her the same thing because we was in love with each other from my understanding. But when I come back, she was doing her best friend.
It's either Ms. Bailey's best friend wants Mr. Dark to herself, or she just doesn't like Mr. Dark. He says that when he got back from his trip, Ms. Bailey's best friend told him that Ms. Bailey had been cheating the whole time he was away on his trip.
I only did it because I thought you was cheating on me.
Okay, but...
So you admit you cheated on him?
I did.
Okay, and so your best friend told on you? What happened to your relationship with Ms. Bailey at that point?
Trying to work things out, possibly us getting married or whatever the case may be, but I tried to work it past for about approximately a year or so, but I just couldn't take it. I couldn't.
I don't think anyone would ever want to be with someone who cheated on them while they were away. What's even funnier is that Ms. Bailey doesn't deny the fact that she cheated on him. She says that she only did it because she thought he was cheating on him. Imagine that.
We never stopped. We never stopped dealing with each other along the way. Even though we separated, we still occasionally seen each other every 3 months or so.
What's dealt with each other mean?
We still seen each other occasionally.
Seen each other and had sex, or
Yes,
just
ma'am.
seen each other
Still
and
was
said
having
hello?
unprotected sex sometimes, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, that clearly explains why they have a child. Mr. Dark says that even though they had separated, they were still seeing each other and still having sex. I wonder why he then doubts that he is the father of her child.
Sex until
2016.
It was like early March.
You have sex and you didn't use protection?
No.
ma'am.
When was Jameer born?
November 13th.
If Jameer's birth date is November 13, 2016, then that means, and you said you all weren't intimate until March.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
If we're being honest, it actually doesn't add up. Mr. Bailey said that they were intimate in March, and their child was born in November. Going back to the calculations that Judge Lauren just did, there's no way Mr. Dark can be the father.
Yes, ma'am.
You feel like you were a crutch?
Yes, ma'am, because from the beginning, I was there at the hospital when Jameer was born, even with my doubts, because in the back of my mind, I didn't never want to feel like, okay, the onesies and stuff that he took home,
Okay, so
I
why
bought for
did you
them,
sign the birth
Pampers.
certificate?
What are you feeling in this moment?
Like,
What's
I don't-
upsetting you?
Phew, man, these guys sure know how to argue about everything. Mr. Dark tells the court that the only reason he signed the birth certificate was because Ms. Bailey threatened him and told him that he would never be able to if he didn't sign it at that moment.
Then were you intimate in February during the window of conception we outlined, February 17th, February 24th?
No, ma'am.
No.
Both of you said no. So, Ms. Bailey, I must ask you, respectfully, who were you intimate with?
No one. I haven't had sex in February. No one.
That makes everything very complicated. Mr. Dark and Ms. Bailey both agree that they were not intimate in February, but Ms. Bailey also says that she didn't sleep with anyone in February. If that's the case, how then was the child born in November? It just doesn't add up.
Yana Bradley.
Ms. Bradley, thank you for joining us. You are what relationship to Mr. Dark?
I'm his current girlfriend and I'm pregnant with his child.
Girlfriend.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court?
Well, first, in my personal opinion, I don't feel like the baby looks like him.
Wow, that's weird. Mr. Dark's current girlfriend steps up to the podium and tells the judge that she's pregnant with his baby. Here's the funny thing. She says that her conception date is February and her due date is in November, the exact same dates for Ms. Bailey's child.
Bailey has a history of attached men. That's what she liked.
Okay.
A history of attached men?
Yes, ma'am.
I grew up without my parents, so I want him to be there for my baby.
It's like, to me, I think she likes to destroy homes.
You're saying she likes to deal with attached men.
Yes,
Are you an attached man now?
Yes, ma'am.
I very much doubt that it's a lie. With the way he is smiling, there is definitely some truth to what Ms. Bailey is saying. Ms. Bailey tells the judge that even with his current girlfriend, he keeps texting her and asking if he can come over and have sex.
Sean with Jessica like, oh, it's just me and Jameer tonight. You want, like, no.
Yeah, so you can be there for your child. You don't never come over.
I don't have to come over there at 10 o'clock at night.
Jameer is 11 months old. What has been your relationship?
Was in Jameer's life. I've been a part of his life. My whole family.
For all family members' funeral.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. Looks like his family does want anything to do with the child. Mr. Dark says that when he took Ms. Bailey's child to one of his family members' funerals, they told him that the baby looks nothing like him and there's no way he can be the father of the child.
Before Ms. Bailey.
That he step up and that he do for my baby. Like, I don't understand. And I grew up without my parents, so I want him to be there for Jameer.
So you're saying you grew up without your parents?
I did, and it was very hard for me.
Seems like all she wants is for Mr. Dark to step up and be a father to her child since she grew up without a father. Well, let's get down to the results and see if Mr. Dark is truly the biological father of her child. Here are the results.
Mr. Dark, you are the father.
I told you that he was yours.
Mr. Poravecchio claims that the defendant, Ms. Taché, and her daughter, Ms. Lutz, fraudulently received $150,000 in settlement money from the death of their father. He says that Ms. Lutz is not his biological sister, and her mother covered the whole thing up. Trust me, it's a crazy case, but here's how it begins.
Mr. Poravecchio, you claim that the defendants, Ms. Taché and her daughter, Ms. Lutz, fraudulently received $150,000 in settlement money from the death of your father, Ricky Poravecchio Sr., and her mother covered up that fact.
Yes, Your Honor.
Like I said, this is going to be one crazy case, trust me. Mr. Poravecchio starts by saying that his dad died in an accident, and for some reason he believes that Ms. Taché got to profit from his father's death, and he can't stand that.
My dad was declared deceased. Miss Lutz was name changed from Theo to
My mom had to change my name because they didn't have the money to be married. They were poor, and after he died, they were already going to get my name changed. And after he died, she had to have it just like Ricky did. And
Phew. Judge Lauren is going to have a hard time getting to the bottom of this. Ms. Taché says that she and Mr. Poravecchio's late father were going to change Ms. Lutz's name and add Poravecchio to it, but they couldn't do that because they were not married at the time.
You are actually Mr. Poravecchio Sr.'s sister.
Correct.
And so you are Mr. Poravecchio standing here, his aunt.
Yes, she never denied me either. This is the first time hearing about this a few weeks ago because she actually met my mom at Mardi Gras and begged her to let us.
Wow. If these guys eventually find out that they are related, I'm telling you, they are going to tear each other apart. It's like, over the years, they've built up so much bad blood that they can't even stand each other being in the same space.
Do you think your brother is denying that you're...
Because they filled his head with all kind of lies. You know my mother more than anything in this world. She kept us together, Ricky.
Well, you know it's a family feud, okay?
It's a family feud. It was not between me and you, Ricky. That was created by y'all. She treated you like a son.
Honestly, it does seem like Ms. Taché is telling the truth and really has nothing to gain from lying in the courtroom. But let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Ms. Lutz, however, says that the only reason Mr. Poravecchio is denying her is because his aunt has filled his head with lies.
Why do you think this is happening?
I have no clue. I loved Ricky with all my heart, and the fact that he would even question me and him being brother and sister kills me because I look just like my daddy. If anybody looks like my daddy, I look just like my daddy. I have a lot of anger for the Poravecchios, my daddy's side of the family, because when he...
Now, isn't that interesting? Ms. Lutz says that for as long as she can remember, her dad's side of the family always accepted her and treated her like family. But the moment her dad died, and they got some settlement money, the whole story changed, and they now act like strangers.
Reason, as far as them separating, my brother and Laura, is that my brother walked in on her having an affair.
Oh my God.
It just keeps getting more complicated. Mr. Poravecchio's aunt says that her brother told her that he walked in on Ms. Taché kicking it in bed with another man. Ms. Taché, however, clears that up and says it was a lie. She explains that it was a minor jealousy thing that happened when she got pregnant and they worked through it as a family.
My father thinking that Taurine was actually for him, but he did love Lori Taché. He did love her.
Yes, of course he did. He married her and had 2 children with her.
And so you're saying that there was truly his child?
The rumors came from the Poravecchio.
Geez, can't these guys make a statement without having to take a blow at each other? They are supposed to be family, for crying out loud. Oh well. Mr. Poravecchio says that his father has always had doubts about Ms. Lutz being his child.
Mechanics came out of the back, who was a friend of my older brother, and saw me sitting there. He went to the auto parts store, bought brakes for my car, replaced them on my car. When I got home is when I found out my husband was so upset that I had been gone for so long.
Your fidelity was in question.
Aha! Now it's all starting to make sense. Apparently, the family feels like the man that Mr. Poravecchio's father was jealous of is the man that Ms. Touche had been sleeping with, and the result of that was Ms. Lutz. Crazy thing is, Ms. Touche got into a relationship with this so-called co-worker after her husband passed away.
On his lap, drive us around. I was daddy's girl. I was his only daughter. He had 2 sons. And
he loved his kid.
He like loved you his care. He children. loved his children. Yes, he did. And I grew up without a dad, and that was hard enough. And then when I grew up without his memories, his childhood, I didn't have that because they took that from me. They took.
That has to be heartbreaking. I can't believe all this is happening because of some rumor. That's sad. Oh well, the results are ready to be revealed. Seems like that's the only way this case is going to be solved. Here they come.
Mr. Poravecchio and Ms. Lutz are siblings.
Thank you.
Keep
up the lies, Ricky. Keep them up.
Mr. Quarles and his wife are in court today to petition the court for a DNA test. Mr. Quarles says that he had a one-night stand with the defendant, Ms. Forrester, and there is no way that a one-night stand can make him the father of her child. This is how the case begins.
Quarles, both you and your wife have petitioned the court today for 4-year-old Sierra Forrester. You claim that due to a one-night stand, you are now in financial shambles caused by child support for a child you don't believe is yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Forrester, you initially claimed Mr. Quarles was not your daughter's father.
That's weird. Ms. Forrester says that she initially said that Mr. Quarles was not the father of her child, but for some reason she now believes that he is the father of her child. I wonder how that works. Well, let's see what makes her sure that he is the father of her child.
Well, we fight all the time about it. A car, I can't get nothing in my name. My checks is only $40 to $50 every 2 weeks because my child support is getting taken out.
So, but you do not think this child is yours?
No.
Ms. Forrester, you put him on child support?
Yes, ma'am.
It's almost as if everything is wrong with this case. Mr. Quarles says that his name is not on the birth certificate, but he has been paying for child support, and the fact that he is paying for a child that he doesn't believe belongs to him is causing a lot of trouble in his family.
And you were determined to be the father by default. They were able to take child support from your check. They garnished your wages. That's how it happens. Did you appear in court ever?
Yeah.
And you were what, denied?
Denied.
He didn't request a DNA test till 2 years ago because I asked, no, ma'am.
No.
He might go to jail for 6 months, all for a child he doesn't even believe to be his? Now that is just crazy for real. I wonder how he even got himself into this messy situation. Mr. Quarles is deep in debt and things really don't look good for him.
Said he was not the father.
Right.
Then you changed. How did that happen?
Because Miss Hernandez came up to me and asked me if he was the father. I didn't want to cause any problems between their relationship, so I told her, no, he wasn't the dad.
Even though he was in a relationship with his now wife?
Right.
That's a lie.
I guess that answers that question. Apparently, Mr. Quarles was already married to his wife when he kicked it in bed with Ms. Forrester. Ms. Forrester says that they had some type of relationship, but Mr. Quarles denies it by calling her a big liar.
Yes.
For a lie detector test because you say you had sex with him more than once.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Quarles, before I read these, I don't know what the answers are and what the results are, but I just want to give you an Are you sure you only had sex with her one time?
Yes, Your Honor.
A one-night stand?
One-night stand.
All right. The questions were as follows. Ms. Forrester, you were asked.
Mr. Quarles has a lot of explaining to do. Ms. Forrester took a lie detector test and the results show that she and Mr. Quarles actually slept together more than once. Looks like Mr. Quarles is the liar in this situation.
Who she was sleeping with and just called him all year since she's saying she only was with one black man, but other black men at the same job claim to have slept with her too.
Okay. But the other black men aren't named Uriah Quarles.
That's a good one, Judge Lauren. Mr. Quarles' wife says that there were other black men she slept with, and so it could be any one of them that she's referring to. Sadly, not all the black men go by the name Uri Quarles.
5 to 8 times.
So you're pregnant. You tell Mr. Quarles it's his child?
Yes.
What was his response?
No, I told Yuri first. He came over that night and I showed him 5 different pregnancy tests.
No, that's a lie.
And you told him?
I told him that I was pregnant and he said that he takes care of his, not to worry.
I can't be the only one who thinks that's a big-ass lie. Mr. Quarles says that Ms. Forrester went about telling everyone in the office that he was the father, but Ms. Forrester says that she told him about the baby, and he told her that he was going to take care of the child.
There was only one girl who came to me the day after she told everybody. We came back from out of town. She said, I can't be like everybody else. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And she told me, mind you, he has a CD out, a song called Backseat.
I also heard that around the job,
Seems like a lot goes down at Mr. Quarles' workplace. He says that 2 other men came to tell him that they had slept with Ms. Forrester after she told him that he was the father of her child. I wonder what other truth bomb is going to erupt in the courtroom.
To her when she asked you point blank, is this child Mr. Quarles?
I didn't want to break up their relationship.
But you could sleep with him.
He slept with me.
And you had morals when it came to me asking you
I didn't
to
want
tell
to hurt
the
your
truth.
feelings either. You seem like a pretty nice lady.
Lady.
I said, seem like a nice lady.
For a second there, I thought that they were not going to fight each other. Looks like I was wrong. Ms. Forrester says that she didn't tell his wife that he was the father of her baby because she didn't want to break up their family. Well, it's already too late for that.
Was he there at the birth?
No.
Nothing?
No.
So Sierra's born and you're still by yourself?
Yes.
Does he participate at all? And she's 4 now?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell Ms. Quarles, did you tell his wife you were taking the child to see him?
I do not believe Miss Quarles knew that he was seeing her.
Phew. I think we've seen enough of their yelling and rants. If we leave them, they could argue all day and come to no agreement. The results are in, and it's time to see who the real liar is in the courtroom.
Mr. Quarles, you are the father.
well, it makes me happy. I would like to see her. I like visitation rights.
What did you say, Miss Forrester?
I said no.
Psycho moments on paternity court.
The bottom line is if the kids are not mine, I want a divorce. I mean, I have the papers here. I'll go ahead and sign my half of the papers. If they're not mine, that's it.
Good, I'll sign it too.
You are not the father. What's funny?
I heard that. It was kind of like, ooh, that's why I laughed.
You was real chilly
This
that night.
is a picture of what?
The night she busted out my windows from me uploading a picture with another girl on my social network.
In this wild paternity episode, another marriage was on the brink of collapsing. Living in different states, Miss Melody dragged Mr. Smith to court, claiming he's the dad of her 9-month-old Savannah. Well, someone here has some convincing to do, but facts alert. They are already separated.
We live in totally different states. He's hundreds of miles away from us. My girls ask for him all the time. Sorry.
It's okay. Take your time. He moved hundreds of miles away?
Yeah, we live in different states. We don't even talk on the phone. We talk through, when we talk, it's on Facebook.
Mr. Smith pointed fingers, testifying that Miss Melody's lies and infidelity had led him to believe he was not the dad. He threw a few shades on the baby's skin color, claiming it to be dark. Now that's a spiral of paranoia hard to break.
When my baby was born, she came out 5 shades too dark compared to me. I mean,
No, I wasn't fully dilated. When she came out, she was bruised. She's not a different color.
that's the excuse you like to tell everybody. But
No,
I have the pictures here.
He hasn't even seen our kids in months. He's been gone for months.
No, you
he
can
doesn't
see.
call, he doesn't help. I'm doing it all by myself.
Hold up, Mr. Smith had her 2 cents on Miss Melody. He's accused her of having profiles on dating websites and even found her on Craigslist. It was all about some mysterious guy she had been chatting with. Well, this might not be your everyday soap opera.
I buy
Ashley,
cars off of
is the
Craigslist
one.
and I fix them up. We used to do it together. We buy and sell. We buy cars, we sell them, we fix them up, we sell them, we make money on it. So this was a person, if he had an ad on Craigslist for a girlfriend, that's his business, but that's not why I contacted him.
All right, Miss Melody, so you were buying cars, not romance. But this got Mr. Smith's suspicions about her connections with a guy from Craigslist, and his spidey sense kept tingling. Ultimately, the plaintiff gave in to her thoughts and probably did confess. Just listen.
We were supposed to go out for drinks. We were supposed to meet up. We never actually did.
Okay, now we're getting it. Look, that's why we're here. You don't come all the way to paternity court to come up in here and tell a lie, because at the end of the day, the DNA is going to show whether you're lying or not. So this courtroom is an opportunity to just get it out. Tell it like it is.
Oh boy, isn't that a scandal? Mr. Smith also claims that Miss Melody sending explicit pics to her ex. He's even paid the guy $100 to confess. And all of these back and forth doubts were making him go psycho. look what he did inside the courtroom.
The bottom line is if the kids are not mine, I want a divorce. I mean, I have the papers here. I'll go ahead and sign my half of the papers. If they're not mine, that's it.
Good, I'll sign it too. I'll sign it even if they are yours. If you're not gonna step up, then whatever.
So, Mr. Smith, you're over there. Jerome, hand me that paperwork he just signed.
I'll sign it too.
Now that's a scene you don't get to see in paternity court every day. Well, one thing was certain, if the baby weren't Mr. Smith's, he had no intention of staying with the baby mama. So how about we unveil the results to see if that's gonna happen or not? All right, Judge Lake, it's DNA time.
Mr. Smith, you are Savannah's father.
No, but now he's missed out on all this time. Savannah's crawling now, and he's missing out on all of it.
In this wild episode of Paternity Court, we got Miss Foster claiming her ex planned a baby, then bailed. Mr. Jackson insists he's not the dad, accusing Miss Foster of cheating. It's a classic he said, she said situation. Yikes! Let's dig into this.
I'm opening this case today because, Your Honor, I have a 1-year-old child who we plan on having. She looks like him.
Beautiful.
She acts like him. He doesn't step up to nothing. I mean, he's posted pictures on social media.
That's not my baby.
He just gives me nothing.
So Miss Foster explains to the court about their rocky relationship, saying it all started on social media. Mr. Jackson parades her as his first kid's mom, but doubts surface when they plan another baby. He insists she cheated. How about we listen to that story for a while?
He had dropped her off at my house, claiming it was her brother, it was the dude she was sleeping with. Basically what the story was, she already came to my house pregnant by her so-called brother, you feel me? And it was like, I mentioned it to her, you feel me? She used me for a place to
I
stay.
can't come nowhere pregnant if I just had a baby and it's January and I wasn't pregnant.
Miss Foster then drops the bomb about social media love and a fake baby claim, and accuses Mr. Jackson of posting fake family pics. But wait, even after what the defendant had just claimed, the baby mama has come psycho level of entitlement.
He took you home to his mother like, look at my girlfriend and our baby.
Correct.
Then what happens?
In the midst of us staying together, he told me I was going to be his baby's mother because I'm the best mother in the world. That's why he said it.
Actually.
Facts.
No.
Facts, Your Honor.
No.
I am the best mother in the world. If he can't say anything, he hasn't even stepped up to be even a stepdad.
To crank this case up a notch, Miss Foster did give away the pregnancy shocker and also claimed of sleeping with 2 guys, and yet dared to claim Mr. Jackson as the biological father. Ah, man, this case seems messier than a daytime soap.
I went to the doctor's office, they gave me the conception calendar. I got pregnant February 21st. That's the same day you left. So that week and that week before, I had a menstrual period. We're sleeping together the entire time. While I'm on in the shower every night, every day, 3 times a day, lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and I was concerned.
But Mr. Jackson didn't deny what Miss Foster just admitted. But are we missing something? Yeah, that's right. Regardless of the conception calendar, Miss Foster, weren't you swinging between both men at the same time?
By me going to medical school, I kind of know what I'm talking about as far as the female reproductive system.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
I
ma'am.
wish you would have known so much about what you was talking about that you would have known who your child's father was.
I mean, I was,
go ahead, honey. Go ahead. School us.
Anyway, the courtroom gets fiery with Miss Foster demanding Mr. Jackson step up, claiming his MIA in real parenting. But there's another doubt. The defendant said he was never informed about the pregnancy on time.
What kind of relationship do you have with her?
None.
Because I don't talk to her through the phone.
Lies.
Man, you don't even click. We get on the phone and argue, me, you, and my girl every time. You feel me? So what's the point of keep calling her? Me and my girl got.
So is that the long way of saying you don't even spend no time with her?
I'm like 4 hours away.
All right, Judge Lake, how about we just cut right through the drama and go straight to the DNA results? Because both the plaintiff and the defendant weren't cutting each other any slack. So, now only the truth can set them all free.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jackson, you are not the father. What's funny?
I heard that. It was kind of like, ooh, that's why I laughed.
You took us to school. Let me take you there.
We have Mr. Lang here, eager to find out if he's Janelle's father. The catch? There are a ton of doubts about the paternity, making it more dramatic than a surprising plot twist. To add to the excitement, these guys are here with their mothers, setting the stage for a showdown between grandmas.
Why are you so certain this child isn't your son's?
Because I found out that Miss Brown slept with my son's best friend, from the sandbox best friend, and I don't think she knows whether it's my son's or Mr. Dixon's.
Oh, really? Is that true?
No,
Ms.
that's
Brown?
not true, Your Honor.
Miss Brown testified to the court that, in fact, Mr. Brown was doing a bunch of cheating and other bad stuff, and his infidelity counter was skyrocketing. The case had just begun, and the grandmas were ready for a big fight. These people were fierce.
Are you in the bed with him? Are you in the bed with him?
I don't need to.
Can I Are you in the bed with him? So you need to mind your business.
I know my son the way you do, little girl.
All right.
I know my son. Unlike you know your daughter, but
Oh no, I know my daughter.
Apparently you don't.
What you need to do is pop his mouth and let him grow out.
The alleged daddy and the baby mama had a relationship that can make Romeo and Juliet rethink the definition of love. Cheating, fights, and arguments on Facebook. Oh dear. And if you throw in a random guy, it's a disaster waiting to happen.
I was at the doctor. I came home and I gave him the paper saying I was pregnant. He kept the paper. He kept it with him. He even took it to school to show everybody, oh, I have a baby on the way. He was excited. He stayed with me through the whole entire pregnancy, birth, and delivery. He was happy to have a baby. I wasn't sure about keeping a baby. I just started college. He begged me to keep the baby.
Here's what happened with the baby news. Mr. Lang went from a happy soon-to-be dad to a suspicious detective when Mr. Dixon admitted to messing with his woman. But hold on, Grandma Brown accused her of some other sneaky plans.
She was only there, like she said, I'm just here to see if this is my baby. When this baby, hold on, I'm talking. When this grandbaby is born, I'll be able to look at it and tell. That's the only reason she was there, to see for myself. Because once this baby comes out, I'll be able to tell if this is my grandbaby.
So the baby was born, and everything seemed fine for a while. But then a drama about the baby's hairline came up. Yeah. Plus, the grandmothers were focused on making this all about themselves. They even brought their fierce arguments to Facebook. Those mean mommies.
I said, oh, look at your baby, woo, 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 and all that. And then he pulled the hat off. He said, Mama, what's up with this hairline?
That is his daddy hairline. Stop playing.
That's what I said too. But his daddy is 51 years old. But anyway, so he pulled it back. I said, Jimmy, let that go. Maybe it's going to grow some hair in. Just knock it off.
It seems Grandma Lang was deeply involved, and there's a ton of drama in those Facebook comments. She said she didn't argue with kids on social media now, but she admitted that she used to do that before. Wow.
Are you on Facebook with the kids arguing?
No, she's going back 2 years ago, Your Honor. When
So you did it?
The girl, knock it off. But anyway, that maybe 2 years ago, when they first got started together, she always thought I was saying things to him against her, but I wasn't. I was always for her.
All right, this whole Mr. Dixon drama had taken the best of both the families. And let's not forget, there is a child involved in all of this. So Judge Lake, in an attempt to bring closure to Mr. Lang, read out the DNA results.
Mr. Lang, you are not the father.
Are you serious?
Ma'am, you have that kind of language in this courtroom.
I swear that's a lie.
The DNA doesn't lie. The DNA doesn't lie.
Ms. Matthews, who has a tricky connection with the defendant, came to court to prove he's the father of her daughter. Mr. Moore, however, claimed she didn't inform him about the pregnancy earlier and insisted he wasn't the father. Oh, well, the courtroom was set for some open fire. Huh?
I made sure that it wasn't going to be any contact till I found out for certain if that was my daughter. For Neat, in the beginning, we were cool. When I met her, she was a party girl, all the way up to date.
Were you ever in a committed relationship?
Absolutely. She told me that she was pregnant, but she waited 4 months to do it. We stayed using condoms all the time, 24/7.
No.
We stayed using condoms.
Oh, this is going to be quite a story. So these two were in a relationship that had its ups and downs. They decided to get more serious and, surprise, Miss Matthews found out she was pregnant. On top of that, her pregnancy was tough, which is why she didn't share the news with the defendant right away.
So I didn't show you the papers?
I got these papers.
Papers of what?
Her
Your
uploading
Honor?
pictures with the guy who was presumably, he could be the dad.
Okay, Jerome, let me see that evidence Mr. Moore is presenting. So let me understand this. You say this is Ms. Matthews kissing another man.
Yeah.
Kissing and breaking windows seem to be the top choices for these folks. Oh, indeed. It turns out the defendant saw the picture first and responded by smashing things. And Miss Matthews followed suit in the same way. their violent tendencies were on full display.
I put the picture on Instagram. He came to my job, bust a window. He had to get escorted by Cleveland police. He almost got me fired. I was suspended for 3 weeks with no pay with your child, and you didn't help and do nothing.
She left out the part about her being with her ex, though.
Okay, let me get that part after I figure out this window.
Next, the defendant's niece spoke up, sharing some tales about the baby mama and her actions. According to her, baby Zanaya referred to several guys as daddies. It's a real mystery unfolding here.
When he told me he started dating her and she was pregnant, I just started laughing because, like, you don't know how many other dudes she done told this to before. Like, this is a rumor around the hood. She gets around.
What do you mean? What do you mean? She told other.
Let's not play crazy. Let's not play crazy. The whole 117th know you.
Let's not. Ladies.
Well, that was a lot of chaos. The plaintiff denied everything, but Mr. Moore kept on telling more stories about her tricks and mischief. Brace yourself for this next one. It's so unbelievable that you won't trust your own eyes. Oh boy.
You was real chilly
This
that night.
is a picture of what?
The night she busted out my windows for me uploading a picture with another girl on my social network.
It was
but
either
it's
bust the
okay.
window or bust the
It's
face.
okay for her to bust my windows out though. And guess what she
So,
did?
Ms. Matthews, is this the window you busted out?
I busted it out. I should have got the side too.
Fanice got an excuse for everything.
Continuing, the parents-to-be reached an emotional moment, just wanting to confirm the paternity. Although Miss Matthews was sure about it, however, the niece couldn't resist butting in while they were having their moment. How about you just keep a step on the edge, girl?
And if I party and drink all day, then how do I get up and go to work every day?
Where do you work? Let me know.
Where do y'all work? Because last time I checked, you was doing community service.
No, I never did community service. Let's not play crazy.
But you could continue to just stop because I'm gonna need for you after this show to go find your daddy.
If it weren't for Zanaya, I probably would be about done with this.
At last, the DNA results were ready, and the suspense was reaching its peak. Judge Lake had the answers these folks were eager to know. Who was Zanaya's actual father? Was it the defendant, or were the rumors circulating true? Time to uncover the truth.
Mr. Moore, you are not her father.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. I'm done.
I mean, I'm not shocked.
I got my whole life ahead of me. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I wish you the best.
My baby gonna be fine. I'll take care of my baby.
I wish you the best.
So, Ms. Matthews, I asked you several times,